Your Schnäppchen hunter, my Schnäppchen hunter, Mr. Dieter Bastian. Here's my physical media collection, still in process of being organized. Greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Once again, it is I, your Duke of Dope Discourse, Robert Meyer Burnett, and I invite you to watch and listen to the Designing Hollywood podcast, brought to you by Martika Ibarra and the great, legendary Hollywood costume designer, Marilyn Vance. I am afforded the wonderful opportunity of co-hosting the show. If you are interested in the magic of Hollywood, the design of Hollywood, the clothes of Hollywood, watch the Designing Hollywood podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts from, or find the video version on YouTube. That's right, the Designing Hollywood podcast. Why would you ever want to miss it? Especially if you love the movie. Well, greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Once again, it is I, your Duke of Dope Discourse, your master of fun and wonder, but most importantly, your pharaoh of physical media. That's right, Robert Meyer Burnett. And we're here for, I have to even look, there's been so many episodes, I can't even remember how great this show is. Episode 45 of Let's Get Physical Media. But you know what? Let's face it. You can listen to me ramble on all week. You're not here to see me. You are here to see somebody who disappeared, and I have to put him back into the show. So give me a moment. I just realized, my God, he's not even where he's supposed to be. My fault. I'm going to put him back in. Your favorite German, my favorite German, everyone's favorite German. You didn't even know you had a favorite German until you tuned in and watched this show. But by God, please put your hands together for a man all the way from Saarbrücken, Deutschland, Mr. Dieter Bastian. Dieter, welcome. How are you?
Let's Get Physical Media.
Well, yeah, that's the name of the show. It truly is Let's Get Physical Media. I mean...
And I heard someone got a little bit comic book movie fatigue over the weekend.
Hang on a second. Apparently, you're a little out of sync. When you're out of sync, I'm out of sync. Let me try and bring you back in. Let's see if you're in sync now, Dieter.
Is it better now?
No.
Hello, one test, 1 2 1 2.
No, it's like you're a dubbed film. It's incredible. This is again, it's my fault. I'll just talk and see if I can bring you back in and be like, look, here's the thing. Can I just say that I did a show yesterday musing on DC's fandom, and I was pointing out the fact that perhaps, maybe that we're getting a little too much superhero movies. And everyone's like, oh, Rob, there's plenty of, look, man, they were just Robservations, not Robs or facts. That's all I'm saying. And what do you think? Are we, do we have too many superhero movies, Steve? What do you think?
Considering my feeling about the ending of Shang-Chi, where for me it was, okay, we're doing the usual stuff again at the end. Probably, Rob, you have a lot to do with talking about movies on the John Campbell show 4 days a week, This is one of the main topics that's always coming up, Which actor will be in Spider-Man? Come on, take a guess. So you been in lot of contact with just comic book movies.
Okay, yeah, that is true. That is true. But I mean, I do think that if you look at this studio output of films, I mean, my God, we got Shang-Chi, we got Venom,
Eternals.
we're getting Eternals. I'm going to see next week. We have Spider-Man Far From Home or No Way Home coming out. I mean, come on, there is a preponderance of superhero films.
Justin Toner says, I'm back in sync, Rob. I'm back in
Only
soon.
only on certain shots.
That's great to hear.
I don't know why
And
you're not in sync.
considering
It's
the Eternals. Yeah.
you're not in
No,
sync. You're
Justin
not in
says
sync. I
I'm
don't
back
know
in
why
sync.
you're not in sync.
I'm not in sync.
Nope.
Okay.
Maybe you are now.
I'm. One,
Look at
two,
that.
1, 2. Hey.
I don't understand, dude. I do not understand why you are not in sync on this show.
God,
I've no
God damn it.
God damn it. It's kind of funny though to watch
But-
you. I try to anticipate what you're saying. I see your mouth move,
Just
but
imagine.
your mouth
just
moves,
imagine
but I
subtitles.
can't hear what you're saying.
Just imagine subtitles.
Now,
You know.
now you're in sync.
Uh,
Now you're in sync.
And Rob, I didn't know this. Perhaps you did. The Eternals is 157 minutes long.
Dude, you know what that
second-
means? I can't wait. I mean,
It's
I just love long movies.
That would be, from my knowledge, the second longest movie in the MCU after Endgame.
Yep, you're
With
absolutely right.
157 minutes. And I heard somebody has finally started Squid Game. I heard. Probably he watched his favorite YouTuber, the Critical Drinker. Oh, finally, if the Critical Drinker says it's good, then I probably have to watch it.
Well, you know what? Say what you want, but I am a big fan of the Critical Drinker. He and I definitely park our shuttlecrafts in the same shuttle bay. No, yes, Elizabeth and I are halfway through, more than halfway through
Halfway, okay.
Squid Game, and dude, it's a masterpiece. It's great.
Correct. Because I've read an article, since I have you here, I wanted to discuss this a little bit with you, that says, and I don't know how the metrics for this are working. Where do I have it? Where do I have it? God damn it. At the end, probably.
People love when you say, God damn it.
It said, wait, it's not, it has to be here. Considering the success of Squid Game on Netflix, it has an impact value of almost 900 million. How to calculate an impact value of a show?
Look, you know, here's what I would say in our algorithm analysis culture. Do you know what has impact value, Dieter? Something that's fucking good and original and has great characters and a great story. The same as it ever was. That's what has impact value. They're going to analyze, they're going to try and figure out, what is it that makes Squid Game so attractive to people? Why do people love it so much? Because it's fucking good. It's a compelling
Correct.
story that we can relate to. It's nightmarish. It's dystopian. It's fascinating. It's suspenseful. It's really well done. Do you know why? Because apparently the Koreans know a hell of a lot more about making movies and entertainment than a lot of other people. So God bless the Koreans.
I was
And
just wondering about this number. How this number?
well, yeah, they come up. They
calculate.
impact very. Oh, look at the impressions, and so many people are like
Okay.
talking about Squid Game. This is what happens when you make something good.
Yeah, and already created are the memes for the show. This is a German one. Wait, why do I have my lamp on? And it says, I hope you're already at this moment of the show, Rob. What would you do if somebody would give you this cookie? I hope you're already.
Dieter, I would lick the back of it over and
You're already
over again.
at that point of the show. Okay, great. just to know about it.
You know, but pretty much that's pretty much my answer to everything. Just lick it.
Lick it up. Rob.
Just lick it up. You know, talk
Okay.
about being metal. Lick it up.
And on another topic, Rob, do you possess the power of the glow, Rob? Do you possess the power of the glow, Rob? Here is it. I bought it for you. Your Last Dragon
Dude,
VHS.
I mean,
No.
look at that.
Do you
That's
possess-
Show enough! The Shogun!
Enough.
My God, I
Do
can't believe you got...
possess the power of
Well,
the
I
glow?
don't because I don't have it yet, nor do I have your Emmanuel.
Yes, you better pick it up.
I
Rob,
know, but every time I
think you have
cannot... Our postal
other
service, I mean, I know, I cannot wait to get... Our postal service is so fucked up.
Yeah, I don't know why this rescheduling doesn't work at all.
They don't. They just don't show up again. Dude,
And
look at that.
Considering
Barry
by
Gordy's
showing of
The
this,
Last
there were
Dragon.
a lot of other people who seem to like this movie too.
Dude, everyone likes The Last
Because-
Dragon. I saw that movie in the theater with Adam Carl.
Let me just look, because Lord Toth said, "Can you buy one for us all?" Scotty R37 says, "Gimme, gimme, gimme."
Yeah,
And 666 said, "Want." You know,
I know, right?
that's Scotty R37. Buy The Last Dragon, Rob.
You realize our
What
entire
do you
friendship
know?
is based on you buying me shit.
Of course.
By the way, I have to tell you
If
something.
I don't deliver, I'm out of Hollywood.
I have to tell you something. Elizabeth at Art Center, she has to come to Berlin for 2 weeks
Oh.
in May.
Great.
So I'm
2 weeks?
for 2 weeks, and then she's going to go to France. I am thinking that I might have to come to visit her if I can figure out what to do with the dogs. Maybe I'll euthanize them before I come. Maybe the girls too. So I'll have to stay at home. By the way, that's a joke. I love my dogs. But nowadays you can't tell jokes without people getting really angry. But I might come. My dream, Dieter, is to sit right there with you, where you're sitting right now, because I want to see what's just off screen. I want to see the stacks. I know, right? But you'll have
Rob, you would come in. There's not a lot of books here. Because I know you judge people from.
No, but you got physical media. If you don't have
Yeah,
books, if
okay.
you got good physical media, at least look. I won't be Judgy McJudgerson.
Okay.
By the way, can we just talk about this was a particularly great week for physical media.
Yeah.
Do you not
it
think
was
so?
Nice. We will probably have some same titles to
I
show.
think we do. I think we probably
Yeah.
do. But I have to say, sometimes, and what I love about this week is I didn't have to buy anything because everything I got was prepaid already. So no one took any money out of my they 86'd my PayPal account. So
Yeah, I heard about that. Rob.
yeah, it was very angry.
Strange shenanigans. Okay.
Oh
So,
my god!
how do we start, Rob? With the live chat from last week or letters? Because we have some.
I don't know. You got
letters.
letters. I think you should read some letters because we got some good ones,
Oh.
right? And by the way,
Yeah.
did Omar 94 write us a letter? Oh wait, he did.
Let me just check, Rob. If he did
Check,
right.
check.
Oh wait, I have to open the folder here. Yes, Rob. Omar 94 sends a letter,
No.
and he says, "Hi, Rob, and guten Abend, Dieter. It's very common for home media collections to have an entire film series collected together, like how there is the Lord of the Rings trilogy collection or an Indiana Jones collection as examples. With that, I would take a guess that both of you collect those, as you both had the Indiana Jones collection. While I don't collect home media anymore, I will admit if I did, however, I would be mixed on whether I would collect home media for an entire film series, because I wouldn't like all the movies in that series. For example, I wouldn't want to own the original Star Wars trilogy collection, because I don't enjoy all the movies in that series. I like A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back, but with Return of the Jedi, I don't really like it. The same thing would happen if I saw a home media video collection which has both Romancing the Stone and Jewel of the Nile. I would only want Romancing the Stone, since I like that movie, but Jewel of the Nile I find just alright and would not want to own. That is why I would be mixed on owning home media collections for film series. If I still collected home medias, since I wouldn't want to own every movie in a series due to not liking all of them. I'm sure you guys have different point of view on that, but that would be me. Thanks, live long and prosper. Omar, considering complete collections, since Rob and I mostly buy the single editions already when they came out, the collections are an afterthought. The Indiana Jones collection was, of course, the movies were in 4K.
Yep.
This is mostly the reason why we bought a complete collection, but I would not be buying a collection of the Fast and Furious franchise, because I all have the movies separately. So I don't need a collection is great for somebody who wants to get all movies in one package. But considering ongoing franchises like Fast and Furious, you should probably wait 2 movies more before you can get the one box set.
Well, I would like to point out,
Yeah.
like, I hated Fast 9. Hated it.
Yeah, but
But
We
they
bought
have a
it.
director's cut. The director's
Yep.
cut is on 4K. And, like, if
Yep.
you think that I'm going to have, like, all 8 movies and then Hobbs and Shaw on my shelf and not buy Fast 9, because, you know, one day, Dieter, someone's going to come to my house and they're going to
I have
stroll
not
down
seen
my
Fast
little...
9 yet. We haven't had Fast 9.
That's right. They're going to stroll down my collection and they're going to judge me. I don't want someone to be Judgy McJudgerson and say, geez, Rob, I mean, you have a really nice curated collection of physical media here, but why don't you have Fast 9?
Fast 9.
I'm like, I've got Preminger's Anatomy of a Murder on 4K as of this week, and you're judging me for not having Fast 9? But you know what? Somebody will. And I don't ever want someone to say, like, that Burnett, man, he doesn't have Fast 9. But I
And
do.
Omar, considering the original Star Wars trilogy, you wouldn't have the whole story finished if you buy only Empire and New Hope.
Look, I've said
this
before
was
that
last
Return of the Jedi is the most disappointing movie I've ever seen in my life. However, the opening 20 minutes and the closing 20 minutes are some of the greatest, most thrilling science fiction action cinema ever. And the conclusion of Jedi, Luke's confrontation with the Emperor and Vader, his dad, is amazing. The rest of the movie is meaningless. But the opening rescue of Han Solo, in the greatest tradition of pulp cinema, and the confrontation at the end ties up the Star Wars trilogy into a nice little bow. Now, the rest of the movie is inconsequential, but you can't not, like, if you want, just watch the first 20 minutes and go to the end. You know, watch the space battle and the confrontation in the Emperor's chamber. I mean, come on, man. Even I will admit Return of the Jedi, but you can't not have Return of the Jedi. You can't, because one day, I mean, I might be on my deathbed and I'm going through the last. I have to go through the last of my physical media collection. You don't want to be like that guy who's like, I don't have Return of the Jedi. You don't want to be that guy. Thankfully, Dieter,
Definitely not.
we have the 4K box set that we bought from the Skywalker
And it
Saga
even-
box set.
No, I didn't bought it separately. I bought the single ones and even bought the JJ ones again. You know?
I know, and I hate myself for it. And you know what's not in that box set? Goddamn Rogue One. But I have that separately and in 3D.
Yeah, correct. So this was the letter from Omar considering collections of movies when they are together. So the next one comes from Joe Dick,
Huh.
and he writes a pretty tough question for me.
Uh-oh.
He says, "Hey Rob and Ida, hail to the Pharaoh of physical media and his German counterpart, our beloved 4K-Führer." Okay.
I anoint you, my son.
getting-
Thank you.
Quick question for one, Herr Bastian. If Jennifer Lawrence saw this show, fell for you, came to Saarbrücken to Professor Love, asked you to marry her, but here's the twist. She hates physical media with a fiery passion. As fiery as her passion for you, as myself. She insists that you get rid of your entire collection and sever all ties with R&B. Do you do it? My J-Law is Eva Green, and there ain't much I wouldn't do for a chance to sink the pink with her, as AC/DC put it.
Sink
Jody-
the pink.
So, pink. Sorry to keep busting your balls, you crazy crowd, but it's so fun. They've taken quite a shell-lacking recently, but hey, you're German, maybe you like it. Okay.
Wait,
So-
can I answer this question?
Yeah.
If J-Lo,
Yeah.
if Jennifer Lawrence came to you
Yeah.
and said, "Listen, Dieter, I've watched you on this show. I love you so much. I want to be with you forever, but you have to get rid of all your physical media and never talk to Rob Burnett again." The answer is yes. Yes. You know, even if it's only for a week and
will-
you get
I will-
to be delicious with her for a week, it's worth it. It's worth it. And
will
maybe
try-
5 or 10 years from now, we'll run into each other again. I, my friend, would never begrudge you that. The answer is always yes. Just so you know, I give you. If you cut off all ties with me, and I knew you were shacked up with J-Lo or J-Law, right? J-Law. It's J-Law, not J-Lo. J-Lo is Ben Affleck's girlfriend. It's J-Law. If you were shacked up with J-Law, she's so funny. I love her. I love her to death. She's so funny. She's beautiful. If you couldn't talk to me ever again, just so you know, I'd understand.
I have your okay, Rob.
You have my okay. You have my okay. Just do me one thing. Just make a little video and send me just a little snippet.
Okay. Considering I've got all these nice video messages that you sent me.
You haven't. Yeah.
Something back,
Yeah, and I've got more.
We will try to be sneaky, Rob. I will contact you.
No, you know what? That's weird and creepy. Don't do that. Keep your relationship sacrosanct. Enjoy it, and make sure that when J-Law shows up, you treat her like the queen that she is. I love her, and if she comes to you and professes her love, you treat her like a queen. You make sure that you do everything in your power to do whatever she says, like a good German. When she wants to spank your bare ass, you do it.
So this is the last time I buy a physical media this week.
Well, there you go. I mean, I'll find someone else to be on the show.
So, Joe, there is your answer. I have to say, yes. The next one, a name that I'm not familiar with, from Stephen Thompson. Stephen Thompson says, both of you gentlemen are truly the accumulators of the world's rarities. Greetings from Texas, and for Dieter, my hometown may be San Antonio, but I spent 3 years of my youth growing up in Pirmasens, just down the Autobahn from Saarbrücken.
Well, is that true? How far away is that? Is that north or south of you?
It's a little bit, north, right up, about 60 kilometers. That
nice.
Would be, how many miles? 40 miles around? Something like this. It's really not that far off. Anyways, in spite of the release of the latest James Bond film, No Time to Die, I remain a fan of the movies, as I can fall back on my physical media stash of Bond films. So here's my question. Next year is in fact the 60th anniversary of the release of Dr. No, and thus the beginning of the Bond franchise. Do either of your gentlemen know if there will be any physical media offerings of any sort to commemorate this event? Will James Bond return in the 60th anniversary, or will that be ignored in a digital streaming happy era? Well, Stephen, I don't know how the deal from Amazon with MGM is next year. And the Craig Bonds are already out in 4K. So I don't know if they will make a box set for Omar. I don't know.
Bruh. Come on now.
And I don't know if Amazon will have them in their arsenal next year. I really don't know. Rob, will there be?
I would imagine that because No Time to Die has to make $900 million to break even, which it won't do, that they have to make a 4K box set, which I want. You know, a 60th anniversary box set of all the Bond films. I have no knowledge of this. Actually, you know, we could call George later and find out. But I have no knowledge of this, but I would imagine that, yes, indeed, they would.
And it would be a lot of work, all movies.
But I think they've probably already done it for streaming. Okay. I mean, you know, during COVID, I would imagine that they have done it. Yeah. By the way, can I just the lovely Willow Yang, who, by the way, I have a letter I have to read from her. I won't read it right now, but I have maybe later on Robservations. Willow Yang, a member of this channel, a great supporter, lovely lady, a doctor, a PhD. Yeah. And she always sends in questions that are really worth pondering. She says, I know Dieter has been harsh on free enterprise. I've got to ask, though, how much of the movie was based on real events? Have you actually tried using your cunning linguist skills while driving? Now, what Willow is referring to in the film, the character of Rob goes down on his girlfriend while he's driving and gets into a car accident. She wants to know if that's real. What do you think, Dieter? Was that real? Did I make that up?
Considering your stories, I would say I have a 50-50 chance I go for real.
You would be correct. Now, here's the thing. If you're driving and you're trying to go down on a lady, it doesn't work. You're at the wrong angle. You're going down. You need to be up, and then your tongue needs to be even up further. However, it's just it's the moment. So Willow, I will tell you, yes. I'm not going to mention the name of the person. The person knows very well. I was coming back from a Clan of Zymox concert. Clan of Zymox is a band that was on the record label 4AD that I was a huge fan of. And I was on the street on Hollywood in Hollywood called Argyle that has I was going to go onto the freeway. And yes, I tried that. And let me just tell you, it's really, if you're driving and you're trying to do that particular act, you can't expect the person you're doing that act on to pretend or look at this. It just didn't work. And I ended up hitting a fire hydrant. And the real story, which is not in the movie, was, this is my favorite part. By the way, this is a true story. So I was doing that, smashed my car. My car was never going to go again. A homeless guy comes across the street and he goes, I saw the whole thing. I saw the whole thing. It was a bastard lawyer in his red Porsche. He cut you off when he was trying to get onto the freeway. And I looked at the guy and I'm like, that's exactly what happened. I pulled out my wallet. I showed him a $20 bill. I said, sir, if you stand here and wait, I'm going to go down to Hollywood Boulevard. I'm going to get the police. And I'm going to bring them here, and I want you to say that exact same thing that you just said. I went down to Hollywood Boulevard because, by the way, I was bleeding because I hit the windshield, and I went and got the cops. And I bring them up and show them my wrecked car, and the girl I was with, and the homeless guy. And the homeless guy said exactly. He was like, "I saw it. I saw the whole thing. It was a bastard lawyer in his red Porsche." There was no red Porsche, no bastard lawyer. But at the time, I really needed that to be true because I couldn't tell the cops what
Rob,
really happened.
If the police would have found the lawyer in a red Porsche, then
I would hope he would say, absolutely. And the cops, it was so funny. One of them says, have you been drinking, sir? I'm like, no, I haven't. And the cop's like, we should probably give you a field sobriety test. And the other cop says, can't you see he's upset? Look what's happened to him. His car is wrecked. His girlfriend's traumatized. And this man saw what happened. And I'm like, it's true. And I'm like sliding the homeless guy his $20. That was not in the movie. But yes, I did try and prove my cunning linguist skills, which pretty much says that maybe my skills aren't what I think they are, because that's not the right way to do things. But yeah, there you go. And by the way, that scene was actually written into the script. It was in the script. We just were like, that would the old, people will laugh when Rob tries to go down on his girlfriend when he drives. That's the moment. You don't have to have everything else. So I don't know. You might have disagreed with me because I know how much you hate the film. It's fine.
Hate is always a strong word, Rob. Hate the movie.
So, by the way, Willow Yang has been a member of this channel for 13 months. I've never seen. I'm looking at the. I've never seen this before. Member of the channel for 13 months. Willow Yang has been. I think that if there's a queen, we have a cheesemonger. Kaz Graphics is our cheesemonger. We have people that are various things. We have an official couple. I think Willow Yang might very well be the queen of the Burnettwork. She's a doctor, scientist, and I've never seen this pop up. She's been a member for 13 months.
So, Willow, if the story would have gone this way with the homeless guy and the lawyer, we would have gotten the story in the movie. Okay, but what can you do?
Yeah. But you know what the real message of the story of that the real message is, you have to bring your finesse game. If you are going to pleasure a lady orally, you need to know what you're doing. Be good at what you do. Don't be bad. And if you're bad, if you're doing something stupid, and you there's no way that you cannot be good if you're going this way. You can't do it. Just learn anatomy, learn how it works, and that the real lesson of that is, if you're bad at that, you get in a car accident and your lady isn't satisfied. So in the movie, one of the characters says she was, but she really wasn't. That was my only saving grace. I lied.
Okay. So, next
Look,
letter.
man, she asked the question. She asked the question. We have to answer.
Correct. Of course. And the next one is a long one. You did try to read it on Observations, but you forwarded it to me from Tom Jr. Jackson.
I did start reading it, and I realized, and again, if there's a king, if Willow Yang is the queen of the Burnettwork, Tom Jr. Jackson may just be the king. It's an arranged marriage. Yes.
Okay.
Just saying.
And he writes to us. Long letter. Here we go. Hey, Rob. Today I want to talk about movies. Strange.
No way.
Tom, that you want to talk about movies. Now I know that both of us are diehard physical movie collectors and fans. As you may or may not know, I have quite the Kino Lorber collection. By the way, To Live and Die in LA is coming out on 4K Blu-ray. You would think, with all my tagging of Kino Lorber, that one of us would get something from them. Always that is the subject for another letter. This one is about my collection of Criterion of Blu-rays. I currently have 12 Criterion Blu-rays. Titles include The War of the Worlds.
12?
Ghost
Just kidding.
World, which I need to write a letter about. The Princess Bride, Tootsie, The In-Laws, and many others. I love the Criterion films, and one of my dreams is to go through their closets and pick some Blu-rays out and discuss why I choose said films. Now, one film that I would love to discuss happens to be one of my personal favorites. 1979's Arthur Hiller's produced and directed film, The In-Laws. I just adore this film from soup to nuts. How can you not love Peter Falk driving Alan Arkin? Just crazy.
So good.
So for those who don't know, the premise is basically Alan Arkin's daughter is marrying Peter Falk's son, and somehow Peter Falk gets Alan Arkin involved in a scheme that if I were to tell you what it is, it would give away a big part of the plot. Now, this is a very quotable film. I have been known to every now and then go on Twitter and send quotes to friends. This is one of those movies that is just perfect and very enjoyable. Now, along the way, there are a few character actors in this film. Most noticed are Ed Begley Jr., playing the boss of Peter Falk, and Richard Libertini, who, in case you don't know who he is, he played Chevy Chase's boss in Fletch, and in this film, his role is one that is bonkers crazy and funny, and in the most funny role, James Hong, who is mostly known from his role as Lo Chen in Big Trouble in Little China.
And Blade Runner, I only
and
do
Blade
ice.
Runner, correct?
I
And
only do
Seinfeld 4.
ice. Yes, that's true.
So
James Hong is the GOAT, man. He's the GOAT.
Yeah. So the reason I adore this film is that it is almost like a character study in acting, and also just to watch Alan Arkin go from calm to insane man having a nervous breakdown because of Peter Falk is just perfect in every way. The film was written by Andrew Bergman, who also one of the writers on Blazing Saddles, and this film was one of Marlon Brando's favorites and was one of the reasons that Andrew Bergman was able to get Brando to be in The Freshman as well. The restoration of this film is pristine and beautiful. It practically looks like brand new. The sound is good as well. Now, how I got into this film was when the remake came out. I was curious to see the original, and I just fell in love with it. I mean, Alan Arkin really wanted to do a film with Peter Falk, and they were like, "Okay, what kind of film do you want?" And he just says he didn't care as long as Peter Falk was driving him crazy. It is most honestly one of my go-to movies to watch on a rainy day, which brings up the question: what is your go-to movies to watch on a rainy day? I'm quite curious to know. Well, I guess I have rambled on enough about this film, as this letter may be getting long. Look, I am no movie critic, but what do I know is this: if I enjoy a film, I want to share that experience with my friends, that you, Rob, and the rest of the PGS. Sometimes a classic just to be shared with the class. So until next time, my friend, remember, if you really want a movie, just remember the Burnettwork motto. The answer is always going to be, we already discussed it, yes, Tom Jr. Jackson.
Well, we have to say that
Yeah.
like Tom Jr. Jackson is one of the most delightful people I've ever met in my life, and love him to death. And he's absolutely correct. I mean, first of all, he's a guy that has a perpetual smile on his face. And I think that we can learn a lot from his attitude about life, because he knows what's up. And I would say that we all have our rainy day movies, our comfort food movies that we put on that we love. And I'll give you a few of mine. When Harry Met Sally, A Few Good Men, The Shawshank Redemption, Sunset Boulevard, Planet of the Apes, and The Godfather 1 and 2.
Okay, nice movie list. For me, it's actually not that tied to the weather, more of the mood itself.
Well, yeah, I get that. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it with the movies that just make me happy, that I just love to watch over and over. Maybe Almost Famous is part of that too.
Yeah. Because a movie like Blade Runner, I have to be in the mood for watching Blade Runner.
Yeah. Even though
something
it's always raining
like
in that movie.
Yeah, correct. It's always raining.
Like in The Crow. I love The Crow. It can't rain all the time, but it does in that movie. It's always raining.
So comfort food for me is actually really sitcoms for me. It's always comfort food, 20 minutes.
Bruh, what the fuck? Sitcoms, that's not a movie. That doesn't count.
No, it's not a movie, but
doesn't count.
Considering
you can't do not talk about sitcoms being your comfort food. This is not what Tom Jr. Jackson is asking.
Okay.
They don't count. Don't talk about the one where Dieter says sitcoms are his favorite thing. No.
But considering comfort
Scott Adkins movies?
Perhaps a comfort food movie would be Galaxy Quest, something like this.
Okay.
Or Deep Rock City,
Okay.
Or for Fairlink, of course. But these are movies that are not tied to be a rainy day.
I don't know. I think that rainy day is a metaphor. When a rainy day happens and you're just sitting and you just gave us 3 good titles. Though that's good.
Okay.
Well done. I agree.
Okay, saved myself.
Can is this the time when I interject when I saw the director's cut of Ford Fairlane that was like 30 minutes longer in the theater? Should I mention that?
Yeah. When you get ready to the show, I'll ask him about it.
Do you know what?
If it exists.
We should ask Rennie Harlan to come on the show.
I'm totally down for it, Rob.
I know. Wouldn't that be cool if we did? Like, I have to tell you,
nice.
You because of COVID, you can get to anyone. When was the last time 2 idiots from around the world wanted Rennie Harlan to come on their YouTube show? I would say probably never. But you know what?
Never.
Can I just say that Rennie Harlan made Cutthroat Island, which fucking rules. Rules. It's so good. He made Prison for New Line, which rules. He made a Nightmare on Elm Street movie, 4. Nightmare 4.
Right.
I think that we should have a Rennie Harlan retrospective on this show and call him up. By the way, he's Finnish, so he'd probably be like, oh, of course I will come on your show.
And we have watchers from the North too, so probably would be good.
It's true. Should we? I mean, we're almost an hour into today's show. Should we talk about physical media? Like,
one last letter, Rob. One last letter.
Oh my God! Please,
all the letters, Rob. Yeah. Charlie the Unicorn writes in, and he writes, "Guten Tag, Dieter, and Rob. Thanks for showing off the Alien vs. Predator goodness on the last show."
Dude, I've been dreaming about that special edition of yours. My God, how great was that?
You got me too wondering about a few things, totally to the Alien franchise specifically, besides it being totally awesome. Part 1, I understand there are a bazillion versions of Alien 1 to 3 out in the ethos of physical media, DVD, Blu-ray, etc. What I have been reading on various forums is that some of them are cropped to 4:3 ratio, and some others are cropped to 16:9 ratio. To top it off, some versions are edited and unedited, with extras being edited and unedited to various degrees. The last intriguing issue mentioned with the produced Aliens 3 movies available for sale is that, according to some websters, some of these versions had a sound fidelity and quality monkeyed around with, and depending on your home entertainment system setup, could cause it to have less than stellar sound quality. Rob, Dieter, have you heard of any of all of these issues above? What is your preferred version of the Aliens, Alien 3 that you currently own? Part 2. Okay, we stop with part 1 here. Charlie, I have never seen a 4:3 DVD or Blu-ray of any of the Alien movies. When it comes to VHS tapes, probably yes, but a 4:3 DVD or Blu-ray, I can't remember. And you were talking about 16:9 ratio crop. Aliens is only 185:1.
Yes,
that is
yes,
the correct ratio.
It is. Yes, James Cameron actually has never made a film in true 235 to 1 or 239 to 1. He's only ever shot in spherical, even though he crops his movies down to 239.
But Robert, have you ever seen a 4:3 ratio Blu-ray of Alien?
No,
never.
No. Look, I go back to my physical media history. Yeah. I owned an Alien VHS tape that was put out by Magnetic Video. Yes, Magnetic Video. I mean, people are like, what? We're talking Andre Blay. One of my dreams, I have two dreams in life I really want to make, and I hate to say this, but Andre Blay has passed away. I really want to make a documentary about the history of home video. And there are actually two. I want to do a film about the history of home video and the history of Criterion. Because I lived it. You know, I started working in home video when I was 13 in 1980. And magnetic video is still a thing. You know what? I have a magnetic video laser disc of all that jazz. And magnetic video put out Phantasm, Alien. I mean, all that jazz. Magnetic video. So check this out. Alien on 4:3. Imagine there's a guy named Andre Blay who went on to produce movies like Prince of Darkness for John Carpenter. So there's this guy, Andre Blay. He goes to 20th Century Fox in like 1976, something. And he says, hey guys, my name's Andre Blay. I would love to license 50 of your movies and put them out on 3/4 inch or videotape. And they're looking at him going, what? Yes, I would like to license your, and they're looking at him like he's out of his fucking mind. And they actually grant him the license. They're like, sure, whatever. So at first he literally releases movies on 3/4 inch tape for the 8 people that have them in a consumer market. But then Beta and VHS come about. So, and if you have those early magnetic video, what's really, all of you, do a Google search, look up Magnetic Video and look up like their first releases. The graphic design is not great, and they had little die cut covers, and so you could see like the tape inside. So they put out like The French Connection, and you can go onto YouTube. Da na 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 na, da na na na. They had a theme song, and look up Magnetic Video logo. You can see it on YouTube. I mean, and he licensed 50 20th Century Fox titles, Planet of the Apes. And what's amazing is a couple of years later, home video was exploding, and the people at 20th Century Fox are like, oh my God.
We don't have the license.
We don't have the license for our own movies. So what did they do? They hired Andre Blay to be the first president of Fox 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment or whatever.
There you go.
I mean, my God, he's one of my heroes. He's been one of my heroes. He's now passed away. I've wanted to make a documentary about the history of home video for so long, and one of the people that has to star in this video would be George Feltenstein. But I can't believe, and my former boss when I was 13, Weston Nishimura, who founded the Video Software Dealers Association of America. But anyway, everyone's like, what are you talking about, Rob? Let's get to our physical media, Dieter.
No, we have to answer Rob his question. Preferred versions of the Alien movies.
Okay. Alien has been released in 4K. It's great. There's two versions of it. There's the director's cut, which is actually shorter.
Correct.
I prefer the theatrical version. I really do. I think the theatrical version of Alien is I would declare it a perfect movie. It is a perfect film. Now, if you look at it now, people are like, well, Rob, the computer displays look a little dated. That doesn't detract from my enjoyment. I think Alien, the theatrical version of Alien, is a perfect film.
Right. Second one, theatrical or extended?
Well, what do you think?
For me, the theatrical version, considering the second one. I like to get with the Marines to LV
426.
426 and have not seen anything from the planet. And for me, Sigourney Weaver's character is strong enough. I don't need to have a backstory that she survived her daughter. It's nice stuff, but I don't really need it. For me, the theatrical version.
I love the extended version of Aliens. The only thing I don't love in that version is the guns, the smart guns.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an extra add suspense scene, but it just seems like I don't need to see the guns. Like, if I had done that movie, not that I'm telling James Cameron how to direct, because I'm a huge fan, all I would have heard was the sound of the smart guns or watched it on. I don't need to see that, but I do love seeing Hadley's Hope is the name of the colony. I do love to see that stuff because there's that great juxtaposition of the very busy. Somebody calls me and gives me grid coordinates and blah blah blah. I say okay, I'll send somebody. I love seeing the fact that you've seen this thriving colony, and when you get there, everyone's dead or gone. I do love that.
Okay, and the third one, I would say the producer's cut is really an interesting thing.
Way better, and let's give Charlie a shout out. I mean, I think he's in Prague now. Should I call Charlie Lazarica, who is partly responsible for getting the assembly cut of Alien 3?
If you want to.
Let's keep going. I'll call him. I think he's in Prague working, but who knows? Okay. I mean, we have all kinds of technology now, and I'll see if he's around.
Then I read part 2 of the question from Charlie.
Yeah.
Because we have a part 2. This is almost as wacky as Conan the Barbarian letter I sent a few weeks ago. But why the hell has Fox Disney been sitting on these films and not rolled them out on a glorious 4K Alien collection, including the original 3 or 4 films? I can't imagine how much coin they would make when they place them onto the market, but they are almost required to be in your personal movie collections. So a ton of them will fly off the shelves and they will be in the back in no time. Could they potentially do a 4K only digital release with these? Thanks again for taking my rambling and discussing it on the show. Tschüss, Charlie. So, Charlie, I don't know what's the holdup, considering you want those movies in 4K. I have no idea.
You reached 323.
Oh, wait, you can't hear that. Anyway, that was Charlie's phone number. He's in Prague right now, so he didn't pick up.
So it's Rob. It's actually 9 p.m. probably.
And Charlie produced the. Yeah. By the way, the Alien Anthology is one of the great. I think Charlie de Lauzirika. He always. He's not on the show, so I can embarrass him. I think Charlie de Lauzirika is the Steven Spielberg of special features, and his work on the Blade Runner set, the 5-disc set, and the Alien Anthology is some of the greatest special features and documentaries ever done. Ever.
Correct. They are great documentaries because there's no more marketing stuff that you have to do for the movies. It's just the truth, the honest truth.
And look, his restoration of Alien 3 and the documentary about the making of Alien 3 that he did, that's on the Alien Anthology.
With the wooden planet that was.
Yeah, it's just Vincent Ward's version, exemplary, great stuff.
And Rennie was in the running to direct this movie first, you know.
I know.
So Rob, like you said, physical media, start, my friend. That's
well, Dieter, it was delayed. It was delayed a week.
Because we are done with the letters.
I have to I mean, I almost want to pet this. This is the Columbia Classics box set, Volume 2, 4K. And I have to say, of all physical media that's come out, this from a major studio, it opens up. I mean, this is so gorgeous. I mean, it is amazeballs. And of course, there are 6 films in this set. And things that are unexpected. Of course, Taxi Driver, which you need, of course. Oliver, a Best Picture winner. I've never actually seen it, but I have it in 4K now. Otto Preminger's Anatomy of a Murder, which is an unbelievably great film. Black and white, but great, 4K. And then, of course, you have Stripes, one of my favorite comedies ever, Sense and Sensibility, and David Fincher's The Social Network. And
it was a new cut, I believe. Or am I wrong?
Of which?
Social Network?
I don't know. I just looked at I just put in. It's amazing. If it's a new cut, my God, that gets me aroused.
But I could be wrong.
But if you go and see what the first box set sells for now, it's insane. It's insane. And these are 6 films, so it's 12 films. Columbia Classics, Stripes in 4K. Army training, sir. I love Stripes. This is these box sets are amazing, and the fact that they've gone and done these 4K. I love I think The Social Network might be one of the most rewatchable movies I've ever seen. It's like The Godfather. I put it on, I can't stop watching. I have to watch the whole movie. The characters, the thing, the whole premise of it, amazing. And to have it in 4K, thank you very much.
And was it a viewer's choice to put these six movies
well, yeah, they did put out they did put out a poll, and I have to give everybody at Columbia kudos from the packaging. By the way, people have said, "Well, why are you only talking about the packaging?" I'm like, no, it's the choice of films. I mean, to have The Social Network in 4K, to have Stripes, who would have thought you need Stripes in 4K? But my whole thing is, 4K is still the best if the transfers are great, and the transfers Lawrence of Arabia in the first version, unbelievable. And yeah, they'll probably release everything in here individually. They probably will. But
haven't they done this with the first box set?
Yeah, they've released some, but I don't think all. I don't think all.
I don't think you have. probably right about this. Probably not.
And not only that, but first of all, even this packaging, the way it opens up, it's really well thought out, and
Yeah.
it comes with a book, a fantastic hardcover book that goes into the history. I mean, you know, it's really well
It's really
done.
value for money.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, all of physical media has to be about the movies themselves,
Yeah.
and
At
that's
first.
yeah, that's what matters. I mean, the packaging is fine, but it's all about the transfers. The films themselves, just to be clear for some people like, well, Rob, you're always talking about the swag. No, it's all about the films. Physical media, I don't care if something comes with nothing but a disc. If the transfer and sound are great, that's all that matters. These Columbia, because it's Sony, it's Japan, the transfers that they're doing are unfucking believable. The best transfers.
And it's a good sign that we did get a volume 2, so volume 1 has probably sold well.
It's so well. Have you looked on the secondary market? How much they
No,
$800.
Insane. That's
Bruh.
insane, Rob.
Come on.
Okay, what else did you get? Or
Well, I have to say, Dieter,
yeah.
I bought my first video games in years.
For the PS5. For the
Yes.
PS5.
Yep.
did you bought?
I love driving games.
Yeah.
I got Hot Wheels Unleashed.
Okay.
And by the way, this is exactly what I wanted. It is so much fun. So much fun. I love this game. Although the buying shit, I don't like buying stuff in games. Whatever. And then of course Final Fantasy. I got this. The remake.
The remastered version, I believe.
Dude, Final Fantasy 7. I mean, come on. I don't even have to play it. I just have to look at it. It's I have not bought a video game in years because I had my place. The last video game I bought was Grand Theft Auto 5.
Okay.
That was it. And now that I have my PlayStation 5, I'm buying video games. But I have, let me just say, this week was great. Not just the Columbia box set. Look what else I got.
Yeah, I've got it too, Rob. I've seen it already, but I let you take it away.
Bruh, show yours.
I've got it.
Have you opened it up?
Yes, I have opened it up, but I let you show the insides because
Wait,
it's
interesting. The color is different, but
no, that's probably the camera. That's probably
could
the
be.
camera.
This is one. I was very upset because this was like sold out on Zavvi, but I was able to order it from Amazon UK.
I've got it from Amazon, Rob.
Yeah, that's what I got.
it from Amazon.
This is a fucking incredible. First of all, this transfer is amazing. One of my favorite films of all time. But I've got multiple. I had to get multiple versions. But you know what? As a box set, this is a really great box set. I love it, and I have to say, to show what's here, we have the booklet, of course, and the booklet is great. The design of this is incredible, but this booklet has amazing shit that I haven't even seen before. I mean, there's really interesting stuff in this book. It's really great, and I also love it comes with this, which is wow, guys, I don't even know what happened there. Are we live? I guess I'm back. I have lost Dieter. The internet winked out. Hang on. Hang on. I'm calling now. Hang on. Let's see. Maybe okay. I don't know where Dieter is, but I'm calling Charlie de Lazarica. Crazy.
Hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, This is a good friend of mine, and I call him the Steven Spielberg of physical media documentaries, Mr. Charlie De Lauzirika. Charlie, how are you?
Good. Are you seriously on your show right now?
Yeah. Yeah, you're live.
Calling me I'm live on your show. You're just calling me out of the blue.
Yes. That's what I do. I call people out of the blue.
I
So
feel very kind of pleasantly ambushed.
well, I mean, I know I'm not your wife, who if she pleasantly ambushed you, it's amazing. But I'm just gonna say we were singing your praises. I was talking about the Blade Runner box set, and the question arose from one of our viewers about Alien, the Alien franchise, and I said that I think one of the great lessons to be learned is about the making of Alien 3. And you, of course, supervised let's call it the assembly cut, right?
Yeah.
If you could add something to the show. By the way, it was so weird. The internet just winked out. I was cut off from Dieter. I don't know if he can come back, but I'm calling you now because you texted me back. Could you tell us a little bit about, first of all, you made both the Alien Anthology on DVD and then you upgraded it to Blu-ray. If you could, by the way, do you have time? I mean, I don't even know what you're doing. Are you in Prague still? What's up?
I'm still in Prague. It's 9:15 about in the evening, and I just got back from set, so I'm in kind of veg mode, but I will do my best.
Okay, you're in veg mode. You're on set. I know you. I'm not even going to ask you what you were on set for. I wouldn't put you on that spot. But if you could talk about the Alien Anthology, which again is one of the great physical media box sets anybody could own, and you are responsible for all the deliciousness that is in that box set. And anybody who has a respectable physical media collection needs the Alien Anthology. So specifically Alien 3, could you talk a little bit about the version that was on DVD and then what you did for the Blu-ray?
Well, I mean, the Alien 3 documentary was a component of, a pretty comprehensive approach to all four movies in terms of creating all new long-form documentaries. So, we'd conduct interviews. I think it was almost around 80 people across the four films, but you would, like in the case of Sigourney Weaver, she talked about a few of them, and and Michael Biehn talked about Aliens and Alien 3 when he was hoping to be in it. So there's a lot of crossover between the interviews. So the Alien 3 documentary was sort of the one I really wanted to do more than any of them, because I thought it had the most interesting, the most tragic, the most juicy making of story of all of them. And I also realized, way back before we actually found it, I realized there was a bit of a lost cut of the film out there, and certainly lost footage that people hadn't seen before that we attempted to find and restore, which is what we did. So we found an existing cut, an early cut of the film that was very different than what was the theatrical version, and we conformed to that cut that David Fincher and Terry Rawlings had generated early on. I'm not saying that's a finished cut they would have put their names on, but it was something they worked on. And we took a pass at it for the quadrilogy DVD that had imperfect sound. It was rough, had a lot of production audio, so you'd hear fans and things drowning out the dialogue, and we actually had to put it in subtitles so you could understand what was being said. And then for the Blu-ray, for the anthology Blu-ray, Fox very generously allowed us to go back in and rework the sound, and we actually brought back Sigourney Weaver, Lance Henriksen, and Charles Dance to re-loop their line. So that was that part of the puzzle. And then, dovetailing off all that work was the documentary, which in the DVD version, the quadrilogy version, was a shorter version than what appears on the anthology Blu-ray, because it was probably a little too hot for DVD at the time, the first version when it came out. So we had to make some trims and change some titles and, just kind of soften it a bit. And then again, for the Blu-ray, Fox, again, very nicely allowed us to restore it to its original length. And I actually even added some stuff beyond the original cut of the documentary, just in case we needed to serve up some sacrificial lambs of any kind that, we'd have to you want them to cut this. And fortunately, again, no notes. We got the whole thing plus extra. And then on top of that, all these enhancement pods, which adds another I don't know, hour and a half of sort of like deleted scenes from the documentary. So it's a, everything that was ever generated for Alien 3 in terms of the documentary is on the anthology Blu-ray.
Well, I have to say that I don't know why the internet winked out. I mean, literally, YouTube crashed, everything crashed. It was bizarre while I was calling you. And Dieter Bastian was reading this letter. Now, Dieter, by the way, is back from Saarbrücken, Deutschland. Dieter, can I hear you?
I hope you can, Rob.
Yeah, you're good. I am now on the phone with Charlie de Lauzarica, who is a director, a producer, a bon vivant. We're talking to him from Prague right now, and I called him because he is, as I've often said, the Steven Spielberg of special features producers. He did the amazing Blade Runner box set, which has one of the most Dangerous Days. The Making of Blade Runner is one of the great documentaries. I would maintain that Charlie has... people don't talk about it, but I think one of the single greatest pieces of documentary about a movie is the 4.5 hour plus documentary work he did on Ridley Scott's Prometheus. And people don't talk about it because they don't love Prometheus, but his documentary is absolutely astonishing. And by the way, if you don't have it, why don't you? So Charlie's on the phone right now from Prague talking about Alien 3. Zone. Yeah, same time zone. So Charlie, I'm sorry I interrupted you. Dieter came back because the internet winked out in the middle of the show, and I was calling you while Dieter was here, and then everything went to hell. So Charlie's here talking about what it took to make the Alien 3 cut and that documentary. So I'm now, Dieter, I'm switching over so you can hear Charlie live and you can respond to him directly. So Charlie,
yep,
please continue.
Oh, I wrapped it up. I was done. That was it. End of story. So,
well,
what more can I tell you? That was kind of like the whole thing.
Well, okay, since I have you on the phone now, sir, you are. I admire your work. It's for years. It's not like I don't give praise. I have to like the stuff. People used to call me Kiss Ass Rob, but they didn't understand. I have to actually love what people do before I kiss their asses. And your work is exemplary. I mean, you have done such fantastic work in the documentary space. And for those of you who don't know, Charlie also is a writer-director whose first film, Crave, is pretty fantastic. I sometimes wear the T-shirt, just so you know. But let me ask you this, Charlie. Obviously, we don't live in a world where we're ever going to get the kind of documentary work you and I have done in the past. But what do you think makes a great special feature? What is the philosophy behind it?
Well, first of all, you're far too kind, and thank you for all the kind words, and right back at you. What makes a great special feature? Honesty, I think. That has always been my goal with all the documentaries I do, because I believe honesty as a storyteller is your best friend. I think that if you try to kind of smooth things over or make a tough situation seem like it was a breeze, you're doing a disservice to the filmmakers and the film itself, because they went through extraordinary challenges, and they probably broke ground either technologically or creatively or whatever they had to do to create a memorable film. It's only fair that when you do special features, you try to also push and convey the scope and the ambition of their story. So I think if you're honest and you are not afraid to get into the problems and how they solve those problems, that's the best thing of all. That's educational, it's informative, and it's also inspirational. I think if you hear these stories about filmmakers who are kind of at wit's end, or they kind of are unable to overcome these sort of problems that every storyteller and every filmmaker comes up against, but they find a way around it, or they find some new innovation. That benefits everybody. It's really I think just I don't know, man. And again, the word is inspirational. I just feel like that's what I look for when I see special features. Can I watch it? Can I learn something from it? Does it feel like I was told the truth? And what can I gain from that? And that's what I try to do.
Well, I think you've been very successful. I mean, your work has been a constant inspiration, and the depth of what you've done and how you've gone into things. Like I say, whether you like Prometheus or not, the box set of Prometheus is one of my favorite documentaries of all time. I've told you I've watched it like probably 10 times, and it's fantastic. I mean, I think what's great about your work, Charlie, I mean, you went to film school and all that, but your documentaries work as standalone movies. If you watch Dangerous Days, which is it's one of the great documentaries about the making of a film, and you tell a story. You're a storyteller, and it's amazing work, and it's incredible. Now, let me ask you: are there other? If you first of all, what would you say? Like if someone asks you, Charlie, I would like to watch some of your documentary work. What would you say is your best work? Where would you steer people to your stuff?
Well, there's kind of two categories of sort of retrospective and then kind of more, contemporaneous type documentaries like the Prometheus one was. I think of those like in terms of scope, ambition, and polish. I think probably Prometheus, in terms of like a new documentary. I think that I was given all the access imaginable and support, and I was on that one for a long time. So it paid off with a really in-depth documentary. Again, whether you like the movie or not, I think it's a really interesting journey to follow, and with all kinds of crazy details that you don't usually get. In terms of the old ones, retrospective ones, I mean, Blade Runner was like my number one passion project ever. I look at it now, I see a lot of flaws. I see a lot of roughness around the edges that I would love to polish.
Come on now.
No, I'm serious. It's like
I know, but I feel the way about my Superman Returns documentary. I would love to go back and redo it, but it's still. And by the way, I didn't give you enough credit. You didn't just make a documentary about Blade Runner. You actually participated in the final cut, didn't you?
Yes, I produced the restoration of the final cut, and that to me was actually even more of a dream come true. Could
you just quickly talk a little bit about like what you did with what did you do on the final cut?
Well, in producing the restoration, it was my job to basically work with Warner Brothers and Kirk Alveo, who's the head of feature post, I believe he still is, or the VP of it. And he's kind of like the unsung hero, I think, of the whole Blade Runner Final Cut journey. But he and I basically worked together to basically bring Ridley Scott's version of the film, his final version, the version he never was really allowed to have up until that point, bring it into reality. And that involved us, going through as much footage as we can find. And we took, multiple stabs at that because we didn't originally have all the footage that was shot available to us. And once Warner Brothers struck a deal with Jerry Parenchio and Bud Yorkin, who owned the rights to Blade Runner, then we were allowed to go in and see everything. And I went through nearly 1,000 boxes of film, looking at everything that had been shot or printed or cut together for Blade Runner. And that was one of the most amazing things ever. I think it took about 6 weeks to go through it all. And I mean, for a Blade Runner geek, it was like Christmas every morning to just open up a box and suddenly see footage you had no idea existed or still existed, or in the form that it existed in. So that was great. And that was basically me sort of like putting together lists of, okay, this footage is great for the final cut, this footage is great for deleted scenes, this footage is great for the documentary that I was going to make. But I had no idea what the scope of that would be at that time, because the documentary is almost a byproduct of the final cut process. We knew we were going to make a documentary. It's just I wasn't sure how we were going to visually populate it, because there was very little behind the scenes EPK on set B-roll shot. There's a little bit, but not a lot, and certainly not enough to support a long form documentary. There were tons of stills we could use, but those get kind of dry after a while. So finding all of like these deleted bits of footage and outtakes and trims and just raw dailies, and using that to kind of keep the documentary visually alive and illustrate the topics being discussed was that was super lucky, but a huge just boon for the whole project. So yeah, it was kind of an organic thing of like, working on Final Cut and working on Dangerous Days simultaneously. And by the way, as I was working all those, I was also working on the gold box of Twin Peaks and producing that documentary. And
which, by the way, is incredible.
Thanks. But like that was, imagine like working on your favorite film and your favorite TV show at the same time. That was my 2006 2007 was doing that. So yeah, it was just sort of like dumpster diving in the nicest way possible, just going through old boxes and things that had been marked for junk years earlier and somehow survived, and giving sort of a shape to it and a narrative through line. Like that was the job.
Well, Charlie, I know you're in Prague and you probably want to go to bed because you're working hard. I thank you for texting me so I could call you back. Thank you for answering the phone, and I want to thank you for being on Let's Get Physical Media, our favorite show that we do every week.
Hey, really quick, let me just plug one thing in regards to what we're talking about.
Yeah.
If you really want to know about what went into the Blade Runner restoration and everything, on disc 5 of the original collector's edition box set is a featurette called All Our Variant Futures from Work Print to Final Cut. That was produced by Paul Pershman, the late great Paul Pershman, who worked for me back then. That takes us through the evolution of the various cuts of the film and the work that went into it. And you also see behind the scenes footage of us like reworking the Zora death scene with Joanna Cassidy coming back, and you really get to see.
Which you pretty much directed that, didn't you?
No, I mean I oversaw and produced the whole project. That one, Rich Hoover, who was, he's like a visual effects genius, and he's the guy who should be directing that stuff. So he did. He and his team directed that. He worked with Sony Picture Image Works and another company called God, you're catching me as I'm falling asleep here.
I know. I just appreciate you're on the show right now. It's amazing. Thank you.
Cool.
From Prague. Thank you so much.
Yeah. No, and No Deal Studios, New Deal Studios. They basically combined to work on that particular sequence, and then there were other effects houses that did other pieces of the final cut. So yeah, man, it was a huge effort. Again, coordinated between myself and Kirk Delvego at Warner Brothers and a huge restoration team that did some amazing work. The work that I didn't think could be done. I mean, even like a few years earlier when we first started to work on the final cut, it probably wouldn't have been as sophisticated and as convincing as it turned out to be. So I'm glad in a way that it was delayed slightly so that technology could and experience could catch up to us.
Which is amazing. So everyone who's listening right now, Charlie's work, you can find it on the Blade Runner box set, on the Alien Anthology. He hates when I say this, but he also did the special features for Die Another Day, but
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Forget it. I'll just say Blue Thunder. Blue Thunder.
Sure, Blue Thunder. I like Blue Thunder.
And by the way, another documentary that's unsung that's terrific is the work you did on Matchstick Men.
Thanks. Yeah, that's kind of like one of my personal favorites, just because that one I was allowed an insane amounts of just total access, and it was just me and my little standard def Sony VX2000, I think it was called.
Yeah, but it's a really good documentary. Really good.
It's really grungy and raw and low tech, but man, I was able to shoot anything that shows in that documentary.
Well, Charlie, all the way from Prague, thank you for being on Let's Get Physical Media. I appreciate it. I hope whatever you're doing, whatever you're working on, is very secret stuff. Turns out to be whatever you want it to be. And everyone, this man that we're talking to right now is, in fact, the Steven Spielberg of special features producers. No, I'm not going to stop saying it. I've been saying it for years. Saying it for 10 years. You can't say no.
Stop.
All right. He's really good at what he does. Anyway, Charlie, thank you for calling back, and thank you for being on Let's Get Physical Media.
Thank you, man.
Goodbye.
I'll talk to you soon.
All right, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, Dieter, I don't know what happened. I mean, the internet winks out. You were gone. I had to make it was
shenanigans today, Rob.
Now I will get back to my stuff.
Orange, Rob.
I'm going to bring you.
What's where we are stopping?
Yeah, we're stopping. So Clockwork Orange. Yeah. I showed it. So I want to throw it to you.
I've not shown it all. The insights. The insights of.
No, you go.
Okay.
To be honest, I am going to go drain the main vein.
Okay. Then
So I throw it to you, sir.
okay, then I will continue with
You continue on.
the Clockwork Orange box and show what Rob couldn't show, the insides, because I haven't seen them myself. So we have the normal standard 4K Blu-ray in it. Then the booklet that Rob showed. But let's just look what is inside of this case. He mentioned some art cards. Let's have a look. So, oh, nice one. Nice art cards here. One. Really, really lovely. Uppsala. So this is a photograph from the shooting of the movie. Really nice quality of the photos from the set. Stanley himself with Malcolm. And is this the poster? Oh, I would think it's the poster. Yeah, we've got probably the most famous one. This one. And then let me just look. This is from the newspaper. Was in it. So this is all the swag that comes with the box set of Clockwork Orange. So I got this one too. So what else did I got this week? Let's start with this one first. This one I have to talk about Rob. Or let's just start with the obvious one. Probably Rob showed it last week. It is the Halloween set, the 4K set, which comes with interchangeable covers on the inside because the outside is a little bit not to everyone's taste. And I did make a little bit of a Halloween marathon this week. I watched not all movies, only the first one and the 2018 one because it's the sequel to this one. Everyone else doesn't matter. And I watched Halloween Kills, which for me was great kills, but the rest was even stupider than the 18 to 18 one. So in the end, a little bit disappointing, but we'll get another one. Halloween ends, then it will probably come to a final conclusion, or if they make enough money, probably not. The next one, I already showed this one, but it was months back, but it finally came out here in Germany, and I bought it again because you all know I'm a 3D fan, and I had to get it in 3D. I got a steelbook of Monster Hunter, which contains the movie in 3D and on one disc. So you have both versions on this one disc. Monster Hunter with Mila, okay. When is actually the new Resident Evil coming out? I believe next month, I believe. The other one I would like to talk with Rob about it. I didn't open this one because what lies beneath, I don't know who put it out in the Let's Get Physical Media Facebook page. Someone bought Hansel and Gretel, or is it Gretel and Hansel, and showed that the disc was made in Germany. Actually, this one is a US release, and it also, but I probably won't get it into focus. It says it's made in Germany too. So why this disc has that kind of drip behind this? If it is produced here, give it to me immediately. You don't have to send it to the US and I have to order it. If it's made in Germany, give it to me immediately. No. So what lies beneath? Nice one, and I think this movie was never available on Blu-ray before. Nice thriller with Harrison Ford and Michelle Pfeiffer. So what lies beneath? Disc made in Germany, like Gretel and Hansel, both Paramount movies. I don't know if they make the Blu-rays now in Germany. I have no idea. I have some.
By the way, I'm back, just so you know.
Okay. I have another Steelbook, and I heard not so good things about it from Bill Hunt and my friend Paul from Trinplix. They both said not a really good transfer.
Dude, the transfer. I mean, that is Robert Richardson, who shot it, and the fact that film has a bad transfer is an epic fail.
Yeah, correct, Rob. And look at the cover up. What they washed out in the German.
They took out the swastika.
Yeah, it's not there anymore, Rob. It's not there anymore.
Well,
so it's a bit
special
in the not having it category, But like you said, I heard it's just an upscale from the old master, so it's not
really bad.
What the movie,
by the way,
deserves.
Why people do that, I don't know. The whole point of buying 4Ks and all that is you want the best version possible.
Correct.
I don't get, Columbia gets it.
Yeah, totally. And especially it's Quentin's only second movie. It should have come with a nice transfer with it,
It's not his second movie. His second movie was Pulp Fiction.
No, I mean, Rob, the second 4K.
Oh, yeah.
In Hollywood, it's the second movie that is released in 4K.
Yeah, and you would think, as someone who began his career in a video store.
As prolific as
I'm sure, by the way, he's pissed and embarrassed. I would call him, but I don't know him. I don't have his phone number.
Rob, I showed you the Dance of the Dragon, and Nameless, the company, is mostly, if I order it from themselves, they put in another Blu-ray within it that I even order. So perhaps you can help me out with this one, Rob. It's an older movie. The original title is Ghost in the Machine with Karen Allen in it.
I don't know. It does look like the cover for Arcade, the first movie I ever edited for Full Moon. I don't know the film.
It's from Rachel Talalay, who made Friday.
She made with Rachel Talalay made with Lori. She made God damn it, Dieter. The movie with Lori, who was in Free Willy, based on the comic book. Why am I drawing a blank on it? Oh, God damn it! I'm old.
But I don't know the movie.
I don't know it either. It must be your first film.
I find a year when this is from. Which year this movie is from?
I don't know.
Unfortunately, I don't see it here. 1993 movie.
Yeah, that was. Then she went on and made. You know what? Come on, man. You know what it is. It's the.
Okay. Let's look it up, bro. Come on.
I will look it up. Just like why am I drawing? You know what it is. It's something girl. Lord. Oh my God. Why am I not? Come on. I can't remember everything.
Death, New Nightmare she made. Let me see. Cry Baby with Johnny Depp.
No. That she didn't make that. She produced that. No, she didn't make it.
Yeah. Director.
Dude, come on now. It's Lori Petty. My God, dude, you're gonna be so upset that we didn't know what this was.
Tank Girl.
Tank Girl, dude. Come on, thank you. My God.
And I own
she made Tank Girl.
God damn it.
By the way, all of our credibility just went out the window. Out the window. Lori Petty. I worked on Free Willy, and it's like, how could I not know Tank Girl? Come on now.
But this one I didn't bought. It came to me with The Last Dragon.
Okay.
Then you showed it last week, Rob, and I got it this week, and I've got Escape Room Tournament of Champions. Did you have time to watch it, Rob?
I have not watched it yet, and Adam Robitel is a friend of mine. I want him to come on the show. What did you think?
Yep. You have to ask him something, Rob, about this movie. I really like the rooms again. The running time between the extended and the theatrical version, the difference is only 8 minutes, but combined with the footage that is new, the movie differs in 25 minutes. So the movie is 25 minutes different.
Wow, okay.
So it has a completely different opening and ending. in both movies.
Do you
So
think
really
which
would
one
like
do you
to-
what do you prefer?
And that's the problem, Rob. I don't know which version I prefer. That's the problem.
Wow.
And I would really love to ask Adam, which was the original script idea?
Well,
for
I could try calling him. I can't say he's going to answer. I didn't think Charlie would answer, but you never
Which
know.
was the original script idea? The extended cut? What is your ethical version?
well. I mean, I haven't talked to him. I haven't actually physically talked. Adam and I spent a year in Australia together working on Superman Returns, but I have no problem trying to call him. Because isn't that what this show's all about? Yeah. Let's just call people randomly.
Because the extended is not just more scenes in it. It has completely different beginning. In the extended edition, there is Isabel Furman in it. And in the theatrical version, there's Deborah Ann Woll in it. Like you said, Rob, it's always great if you get a single card credit. In the extended cut, there is Deborah Ann Woll. And I thought, oh, you get a credit just for being in the flashback scenes at the beginning of the movie. Not bad.
Well, yeah, you do. Yeah, that is absolutely true.
But then I watched the extended first, and then I watched the theatrical version, and then the ending is completely different. And there she was. Oh, Deborah Ann Woll is in it. Okay, so completely.
Oh, I'll, you know what? I will call Adam later and ask him to be on the show.
No problem. But I would really like to know which version came from the idea concept first from the second one. It's just, the extended is not just some few scenes sprinkled in. It's 25 minutes different stuff in the extended version. The beginning is different, the ending is different.
But which do you prefer?
That's the problem. I can't tell you which one I prefer.
Wow.
Both have their strengths for me. So it's tough for me. But the middle section is identical in both movies. When they're entering the rooms were fun again for me. So Escape Room.
I like the franchise.
Unfortunately, I don't know how the movie did. Would have loved to get another one of the Escape Room series.
You want a third Escape Room film? I think you. Look, Adam is kicking ass. By the way, Adam Robitel is one of the nicest, most enthusiastic, most talented people I have ever met in the business.
Awesome.
We were in Australia together for a year. He actually was walking dogs and fell in a plate glass window and had his lung punctured. In Australia. I mean, there are a few people that are nicer in the business than Adam Robitel. So, I love the guy. By the way, are you done showing your stuff? I don't know.
Two more Korean stuff, Rob.
Hang on. Did you show Legend?
No, Rob. You can go, Rob. Then
no, I don't need to go. I just didn't. I mean, I know we have a couple of things. Please continue.
Yeah. I bought from Korea, Rob, Swimming Pool. This is the Korean edition. But strangely, the languages on the disc is actually German and English on it.
Wow.
But it's the Korean edition. It comes with some nice photos.
You just like that movie because she looks like J-Lo.
So we have Charlotte in it. So we have 4. It's nice that the Koreans always put something little extra in the.
Look, I'm all about the Koreans, man. I am.
And considering, since we're on a
Black
South
Pink
Korean
in your attitude. Lalisa, just saying. Actually, she's from Thailand, so she's not really Korean, but it really doesn't matter, does it?
And the other one that I got from Korea, Cat in the Backdrop. I actually can't tell you what's the movie about. The movie is called Beasts Clawing at Straws.
Wow.
And this is the...
Look at that box, dude. That's some... Wow.
Little package.
Okay, Dieter, what made you buy that?
The title,
how'd you even find it?
Browsing the usual Asia's websites that I use. Stumbled across it. And of course I checked IMDb. What is this movie? But I had it ordered way back, but it never gotten to me. I don't know what happened to that package, and I ordered it anew. So this is the cover. It
Wow.
seems to be about two families, something like this. This is just inside, and it comes with, I believe one is probably, since my Korean is top notch, the script, but this is more like a photo book.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you haven't watched the film yet.
No, unfortunately not, Rob. Didn't get around to it. This is probably, since my Korean is perfect, the script,
Wow.
so I can read that. This was my last one, but since we are on a South Korean high at the moment, Rob, with Squid Game, I watched another series on Netflix that came out on Friday. So if you want to have more South Korean stuff on Netflix, Rob, I watched this one, My Name. It's a great revenge tale on Netflix, came out on Friday, and for me, they just did it again, Rob.
Wow.
I was
Okay.
thrilled. A nice revenge movie. A girl with
I love that you
her
say
father.
a nice revenge movie. It's nice.
We always love
It's
our
revenge.
revenge
It's
tales,
nice.
Rob. A girl witnessed her father getting killed in front of her door, and she wasn't a little bit estranged from her father, and she wants to try to find out who killed him. And she gets into a drug cartel. The drug boss puts her under her wings, and they find out that the first lead, considering the murder of her father, goes to the police, and then she goes to the police. So she works both ways,
Yeah.
Drug cartel inside the police station. Great fights, Rob. I don't know what is it with the South Koreans and all these knives. They have a probably knife fetish.
Well, I spent 10 days in South Korea, in Seoul for the Olympics in 2018, and I have to say, my God, I love South Korea. I love it. We drove through the countryside. I mean, and let's face it, the women there are beautiful, and the technology is incredible. I actually saw a picture. I took a picture of it's in a museum. The very first, I think it's Samsung, the very first Samsung VHS player. I mean, God bless Korea, South Korea.
So if
after
you
all,
don't have enough, Rob, after Squid Game, My Name, my recommendation as another streaming service. I showed Halloween, the first one that you showed last week, and I don't know if you have noticed this, Rob. You can reverse the cover. You have the original cover.
right? Yes, I haven't even delved into it. So you showed Halloween. I will show that soon. Should I show my stuff?
This was my haul, Rob.
Okay, well, we have different stuff. By the way, did you get the Columbia box set too?
No, Rob. I actually.
It's okay.
We'll wait when it becomes a Schnäppchen. Rob.
Yeah, I understand. But you didn't get Arrow's Legend?
Rob, I ordered it, but it's not on its way yet.
Okay, now a lot of people be like, "Oh, Rob, that's not the great cover." This is the cover that was new. I had I had the poster on my wall for such a long period of time. This, my friends, is a fucking incredible set. And now, to be fair, Charlie de Lazariga produced the DVD or the Blu-ray that came out before, which is great. But this Arrow set is definitive. This is an incredible set. So for those of you who don't know, Ridley Scott's Legend has two very, very different versions.
Yeah.
There is the American version that's about 90 minutes that has a musical score by Tangerine Dream, which is really good. And then there is the European version, which is 2 hours, that has a Jerry Goldsmith score. Now, I would have to say what's very interesting about Legend, for me, is that both of these versions have their own virtues. Like I would say, well, you have to watch the original Jerry Goldsmith version. But I love Tangerine Dream, and they've done some great stuff. So This is an incredible package, and the reason people are like, well, Rob, I don't like that. I bought this artwork because it was new. The other artwork that I'd seen, I've had
but
the American version, the European version. I had those posters for years. This was new, so I got it. Again, Arrow knocks it out of the park, and one of the great special features on this features friends of mine, Jeff Bond and Dan Schweiger, talking about the different musical scores. And
great.
This film, I mean, by the way, Tim Curry's Darkness makeup is, to this day, the single greatest makeup effect ever done for a film. Ever. So, I mean,
this is my favorite devil, Rob. The favorite.
He's the best. Amazing. So, you've gone through it. Yeah. So, I did get, but so when Scream Factory announced that they were doing the Halloween movies, they had you can have pins and posters and whatever, and the 4K versions of all the movies with vinyl in them. And I was like, click. I didn't even think about it. This was like, what, 6 months ago? I don't even know. So this week, finally, because they came out last week, but this week, I got the box. I got this gigantic box, huge box. I was like,
you bought all 5 movies, Rob.
Yeah.
5.
I'm like, what the fuck is this? Well, first of all,
poster.
These are posters of all the new artwork. I'm not even gonna open it up, but here you can see. If anyone wants to buy these, I'll put them on eBay, whatever. I will sell these. I don't need them, but I won't open them. So whatever. But I have to say, this box set also came with this. If you look, Halloween franchise. This is a box set of pins. And hang on, let me just open it up.
But so this was just available from Shout Factory themselves.
Yeah, this is all part of this. So you open it up. Yeah, this is all part of Shout Factory's. They put out 5 Halloween films. So, and by this is actually pretty cool. So I mean,
this is cool.
Yeah, here are the pins. This is a separate box. I mean, I didn't even know what I was buying. I just clicked on the whole. Well, here's the whole. But these are really cool. I have to say, these are really cool. They're very cool. So that was part of the box set. Now, also, in addition to, first of all, Halloween 4 and 5, 4K. Here they are.
Nice.
I haven't even opened these. They're great, which is fine. Halloween 4 and 5.
I like the sturdy outer box now.
Yeah, so good. Now, here's what I love. This is why I bought the set, to be honest.
The vinyl.
No, I bought the set.
No, not the vinyl.
For these boxes.
1, 2, and 3.
Dude, they did this once before with Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah.
Another John Carpenter film. But I wanted these boxes, and they're doing a new transfer. And look, people are like, you guys on Let's Get Physical, you never talk about the transfers or whatever. No, we don't. We're not reviewing the transfers. We're just talking about the. So here's Halloween 1. Michael Myers, right there, the little kid. And by the way, look at this. When you put that shelf presence. And everyone's talked about the transfer. Halloween has been given the short end of the stick. So you open the box. Here is vinyl. Yeah, the vinyl is here. Here is the vinyl, and it has the Halloween theme and Laurie's theme. And so this isn't even the whole soundtrack album. This is some special
I believe two tracks.
Yeah, but it's still, I mean, they did a really good job, right? And if you look at it, and by the way, all of the vinyl is like this. Hang on, because I never want to touch my vinyl. Look at that.
Ha ha.
Come on. Dude, it's clear vinyl with blood splatters and all that. I don't quite understand. I don't get what this is. I don't. But you know what? All I know is, Dieter, it's awesome. For those of you who don't know, Halloween in 1980 was the very first movie I ever owned on physical media. So I have a long, ongoing special bond with the franchise. And, by the way, here is Halloween, and everyone says the definitive version of the 4K, this is the great transfer since the VHS version. I don't know. I just want to say thank you, Shout Factory. I do want to point out that The Hills Run Red, a movie I produced, Dave Parker and I spent a long time making the special features. They never send us free shit. I had to buy this. Just saying. Just saying.
Damn.
So,
But really nice. So this where only 1, 2, 3 came in
yeah,
the extra box.
only 1, 2, and 3 came with the extras, and then there's the posters and there's the pin set, which is great, which I mean I love. It's
awesome.
So, wait, I think that's it for me, man. I think it's it. The Columbia set.
This was your special edition, the Halloween sets.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so my special edition, Rob. I didn't show it last week, and we already discussed this movie, but I bought it again, Rob.
Wait, you bought something again?
Yeah.
No.
I bought Donnie Darko again.
Wait a minute. Okay, hang on a second. Look at that box, dude. Like, I bought the Arrow version. Look at
German.
Dude,
German
is that who?
One from Art House.
Dude, I'm getting aroused. My male parts are getting aroused looking at that. What is that?
Let's see what is inside of this. So this was
my God.
on the back. Oh, I have to be careful here. So inside we have a little.
Is that a magnet?
Yeah.
Why isn't that on your refrigerator? Come on now.
I opened the box for the show, Rob. Can be on the refrigerator. Then we have postcards. The movie.
Wow.
This one. Or is the mirror effect? God damn it. So which way? This way.
There you go. Yeah. So, but hang on, Deets.
Yeah.
Is that the 4K box set? What is that?
Yeah, it's the 4K, and it probably is the identical transfer that the Arrow one has. So I don't think it has another transfer. So we've got the postcards, the sticker. So then we have posters. So this one, I haven't put it out. Really,
I'm eating gummy bears.
Not that small one.
Wow, look at that.
So one, probably, I think there are 3 in it.
By the way, is that a Spider-Man hot toy behind you?
No, this is just a normal Spider-Man
No, all right.
figure. Nothing sort of, but I like the pose. It came.
I do too. I'll be like, I can't
DVD
pose my
set.
hot toys like that because it wreck the outfit.
So another poster, which has what kind of artwork? The artwork of the outside of the box as a poster.
That's a really cool poster. I mean, that's awesome.
Then the last one, 3 posters in it. The original one, or perhaps mostly known. The original.
Sure.
At least I remember this one being the.
Yeah, that's the original. Yeah.
So then we get into other stuff. Here we have some other stickers.
Yeah. So, who put out? Did Turbine
Art
put that
House,
out?
Rob. No, art house, Rob.
Okay, Dieter, I mean, I don't mean to interrupt your reverie about this great Donnie Darko special edition, but let's talk about Koch, Media, and Dune.
Yeah.
You
What
sent me
can I say,
news.
Rob? I sent you news. It
Yeah.
is delayed till February next year
Yep.
because they couldn't find a manufacturer. They were up to the standards they wanted, but finally they found one, and they will make 2 batches of it. So since we pre-ordered it before October 10th, it could be, Rob, that we will get it before Christmas. This.
By the way, the
this
box
year.
they showed, it was beautiful. Really, I love it.
It's with some sort of glass around it.
Yeah.
And they will, considering the production manufacturer can only make so much at that time, they will make 2 batches, and all people who had pre-ordered the big box set will probably get it before Christmas. But the official release date is February next year.
Yeah. So I have to tell you, since our last show later that afternoon, Just a Brown Girl, Michelle, who is a fan of the show, a foundational member of the Post-Geek Singularity community, she took me to see Dune
I know, Rob.
on the Warner lot.
Yeah.
Now, what's interesting, I know you didn't love it. I know you don't love Dune at all. You've seen multiple iterations of it. I thought Dune was an extraordinary. I mean, dude, at the Steve Ross Theater, the sound, the atmos. My God, it was. If you could see a movie in a theater, seeing Dune on the Warner Brothers lot, it was the best presentation of that film I will ever see, ever. And back in 1999, I saw The Matrix there for the first time. It was just.
Did it came with the IMAX aspect ratio shifting?
No,
on the
it
studio?
didn't.
No, but
But
you probably will see that next week.
next week, yeah,
This
on
week,
Sunday.
yeah.
But it was it was just astonishing. I mean, it was an overwhelming sensory experience. It was incredible. And but is the movie good?
Like you said, Rob, the ending could be a little bit frustrating.
I find the whole movie frustrating because I loved what I saw. It's beautifully done, but there are things there, and I don't want to. I want people to go because I don't want them to be polluted by my opinion.
Yep.
Even though I've already done a show on it, so that's ridiculous. But so I thought it was an overwhelming sensory experience. The sound alone, sitting in that theater, I'm like,
And
oh
cinema
my,
score.
unbelievable. It was incredible. However, there is less story in this version of Dune than in the David Lynch version of Dune. And I felt like I saw the first act of a 3-act
Yep.
movie, play, whatever, that lasted 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Correct.
I loved every minute of it, but when it was over, I'm like, even I was like, I've read the books. And when it was over, I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like,
Considering when you look at it, for people who don't know the book or haven't even seen the 84 one, who really come to it new.
Dude, that's the thing I know. And people are like, well, Rob, a lot of my friends in Europe who've seen the film, they all got it. They all understood it. I'm like, but having read the books, I'm like, no, you didn't. You didn't get it. I understand if you liked it, that's great because it's an overwhelming cinematic experience. I loved it. But as an adaptation of the story of Dune, I would say that even the Harkonnens, I used to say Harkonnens, but this movie, the Harkonnens, the villains, you don't even know. Like, it's so nebulous who and what they are. Like, they look bad, but what are they doing? Like, why are they doing what they're doing? You kind of, Stellan Skarsgård is awesome as Baron Harkonnen, but you're like, why? Wait. Here was my biggest thing about the movie. So in the story of Dune, the Padishah Emperor Shaddam IV is conspiring with the Harkonnens to get rid of House Atreides because Duke Leto Atreides is a very charismatic political leader. People love him. So, and you see this in David Lynch's version.
Yep.
Then there is also the Spacing Guild, which is the IATSE of the Dune universe. By the way, thank God IATSE and the producers came to an agreement. But so there are people that with their giant guild highliners, they transport people around the universe. They fold space. So the Spacing Guild, which their members are, let's call them spice addicts, or I don't want to get in. I don't want to ruin it all for you because it's so great. So in this movie, you don't even know anything about that. And when I was watching the film as a Dune lover, I've read the books, I've seen the David Lynch version, I've seen the Sci-Fi Universe version. I felt that when I was watching Dune, I'm like, I don't think this film is doing a good job of explaining its plot. If that makes any sense. And a lot of people are like, oh, Rob, no, we all got it. We are all understood. But I'm like, how could you understand? Because you're not dealing with the Padishah Emperor and there's like somebody says a line. Or the Spacing Guild. You don't... And Dieter, you didn't love it, did you?
No, because I wanted to love it, but for me it was just I didn't feel any emotional attachments to anyone. The movie just washed over me, as you said, as a sensory overload. But then it ended. Okay? That was it. Okay.
I'm with you. I thought it was. I loved watching it in IMAX or at the. See, it was amazing.
Rob, I know that's tough to say. On HBO Max next week, they come with shifting aspect ratios, and I can watch it again.
Oh, I didn't know that was true. I'm going to watch it again too. I mean, I shout out to Jessa Brown Girl. Thank you for taking me. Yeah. But and I think Denis Villeneuve.
How much IMAX scenes the movie has, but I hope it will have switching IMAX aspects.
Oh, you don't know if it does?
On HBO Max, I don't know, Rob. Considering Wonder Woman has it, did have it.
I thought the whole movie was shot in IMAX.
No, I don't think the whole movie, Rob. But
I don't know.
Wrong. I can be wrong, Rob. Can be wrong.
I mean,
we'll see it next week.
I loved it, but I was like, my whole thing about it was, I'm watching it and I thought, is this a good movie? I mean, that's the real question. Is it good? And it's an extraordinary achievement from a craftsperson point of view. It's so beautifully done. It's really on every level. And Hans Zimmer scored, dude. I thought Blade Runner 2049 was going to be where I'm like, I felt like I was enveloped in a sound field. No, nothing was like watching Dune. That soundtrack, the sound mix was so aggressive. It's one of the greatest sound mixes. It might be if that film does not... here, Rob Burnett is going to tell you what Dune will win at the Oscars. It will win... I mean, they've now combined the sound awards into one.
Only one sound award.
Yeah, Dune will win that award.
Yeah.
It will... On your Oscar ballot, don't even look at anything else. Dune will win that award. And by the way, I would have to say Hans Zimmer's score was extraordinary. I mean, it was incredible.
Like I told you, the new one did give me more appreciation of the old one from
because you're an active Dune hater.
No, I'm not a hater. Rob.
You are a hater. Come on.
The old one had all the beats. It was a little bit rushed at the ending, but for me it was. Oh, I know the beats. Okay, now they get rescued. Okay. I didn't feel any attachments to the people, Rob.
All right, I get it. By the way, we have super chats that are 2 hours,
just
2 hours old.
Just quick. This was the book because I wasn't finished, Rob.
Oh, well,
Donnie Darko said.
Wait, hang on. Let me go full screen, Dieter. I apologize
the-
that you were not.
Here's
done.
the book that comes with the set, and of course the set with the 4Ks. But the interesting thing here, you don't have to choose, Rob. You get the 4Ks and the Blu-ray versions
Wow.
of the movies. So you have a 4-disc set of the movie.
Amazing.
So you have not only the 4Ks, you have the Blu-rays as well. So you can't make a wrong choice, like it happened to you, Tremors, because it looks identical. Okay, it will be. Oh, it's actually not a 4K set.
Why did you have to bring up my shame?
I understand, Rob, why that happened, because they totally look identical with Arrow. You have to pay attention what you really order. But this one has just all of it. You have the Blu-rays and the 4K in it. So this was my special edition, Rob. Get to the super chats, my friend.
Well, no, hang on. I mean,
Yeah.
I think. Allow me to ask you, what
Yeah.
makes? Let me ask you this, Dieter. What makes a great special edition for you?
Great special edition. Like you said, at first comes the movie, even if I haven't seen it. Sometimes the package makes me buy a movie that I haven't seen. I don't know the cat in the bag. But if the package is nice, it's easier to hit that ordering button if it were just a standard MRA Blu-ray. It makes it easier. And I really, with this set, I like if I have the Blu-ray as a separate option in it too, to have both versions. Since, like you, still don't have a 4K, so if the 4K isn't running,
Well, I have a 4K player. I mean, I look at things,
yeah, I have a 4K player too, Rob. I don't have a 4K TV, So this actually, probably, I saw it and I thought, this is really nice. Together, different cover, and as junkies, I thought, I will buy it, Donnie Darko again. But this is really, really the last time.
But by the way, I mean it's a pretty great special edition. But I have to tell you, Dieter, I am, to be honest, since we've been doing this show, this is our 45th episode, which means 45 weeks. I mean, we're almost to a year. There's 52 weeks in a year, right? So we're close to a year, and we've skipped sometimes because we couldn't do shows.
Yeah.
Now
But
I
we
have to tell.
focus guests, Rob, that didn't gotten a regular number on all
Right,
those.
right. That's true. And I would have to say that one of the great joys of the pandemic for me has been meeting people around the world that I wouldn't know. You being one of them, and it has been delightful to get to know you and to do shows with you. And I never want to stop doing shows with you.
Thank you.
However, I will say this. I mean,
Yeah. Say it, Rob. Say it.
well, I have to think about. I have to think about what it is I want to say, and it comes down to the fact that, sometimes I think we discuss physical media as if it's a thing, like artifacts, like here's the Halloween button set, and really, why we love our physical media, what we really love is not the medium. We love the movies. We love the films. We love the actual experience. And I feel like sometimes that gets lost on this show. And I just want to point out that you and I, all we want is the best versions of the movies we love. And it's the movies. It's the feeling we get watching them. It's the movies themselves. Like, and people write me like, Rob, you're talking about the actual media. No, at the end of the day, it's about the films themselves. Am I not wrong? Do you agree?
No. The film is actually the most important part.
Yeah, and like we get look. I love having an enamel pin set Halloween, and look at it's Michael Myers' face on the back. This is cool to have. I don't give a fuck about it. I don't. What I want is the best transfer of Halloween that exists. And apparently, Scream Factory has delivered that. And like this box set, I love this. I do love this box set. But you know what I love about it? It's 4K transfers, and they've spent everything in this box set was lovingly transferred. To have The Social Network in 4K is amazing. And at the end of the day, this show is about not tchotchkes or trinkets, or it's about the transfers of the films.
Yeah.
Now, am I wrong? Or do you agree?
That should come first.
By the way, you know what? Should I call George?
Rob, I have early shift. I have not that many time to go for 3 hours. I have to be up in 6 hours.
Oh my God! Well, all right then, Dieter.
But we go through the super chats, and I will want to go through the live chats quickly.
Okay, well, okay, Dieter. I will do that. Justin Toner, our own Justin Toner, says, "Hi, Rob and Dieter. My Kino Lorber sale haul was delivered yesterday. Black Moon Rising, career opportunities showing, The Hard Way, Lifeboat, and Under Capricorn." Well, Justin Toner, that's a fine list. I mean, you know, whenever Kino Lorber has a sale, they just put out Kolchak the Night Stalker, the series. It's amazing. Well done. They are. I mean, God bless Kino Lorber. They're doing the God's work. Justin goes on to say, he goes on. Oh, actually, no, it's not. It's Brian Doyle goes on to say.
Oh, okay.
Brian says, "Hi guys, can you please help? Does the American and European release of the Columbia Classics Volume 2 differ in any way? As I received 2 different versions with no slipcovers on either set, even though they are using an image the same as HMV and Zavvi showing the slipcovers. Thanks for your help." Well, Brian, I mean,
different. The sets are different.
All I know is
knowledge.
This is now. Here's what's interesting. Here's the set. It's exactly like the first set. Now, if you open it up, and I love how they do it. So you open it up, and there are slip cases for each movie.
Okay.
Right. So, hang on. So, this is important if you're into it. Here is the slipcase for The Social Network. Yet, dun dun dun.
Okay.
They go with the original Blu-ray cover. So there is, and you can see I've already opened this and looked at it. So yeah, and so here's what you get. I don't know. I have no idea what happens in foreign countries. I really don't. I do not. But yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of what they've done, and you know what?
So the set comes sometimes without the slipcovers, just.
Well, that's the thing. I that's weird that it does. I mean, I would think it wouldn't, but what can you do? I don't know. So that's what we get, Brian. So I thank you for your question. I hope I answered it. Stubble McShave, Dieter, says comic book movies are like a really good pizza. They're great.
Yes.
They're great pizzas with awesome filling, but it's still pizza. Sometimes you want a grilled salmon. Now, I have to say, what Stubble is referring to, and by the way, I've got hammered about this. So yesterday I did a Robservations about DC Fandom. And I'm very excited. All of those movies I want to see, whether it's Black Adam, whether it's Aquaman, whether it's Flash. I mean, I was like, oh my God, I'm so there for this. I love all of them. But I was just musing at the end of the day. I'm like, that's all Warner Brothers is making. And I said, I use as an example The Verdict, a movie, Sidney Lumet's The Verdict. That was a studio movie too. And I loved it so much. It meant so much to me. I can't wait to see Eternals. I'm seeing it on Tuesday. I can't wait. But all I
see
want.
it with John? Do you see it with
Yeah,
John?
it's a press. He's John and his wife are going to the premiere on Monday. And I will say, I mean, you know,
It's the same setup with Shang-Chi. Monday is the premiere, and you go Tuesday.
yeah.
Okay.
And look, I'll see it, and I have to say that John's wife, he did very well. His wife is extraordinary. She's extraordinary. She's an extraordinary beauty. She's an extraordinary intellect, an extraordinary talent. So God bless you, John. You married well. But whenever he gets invitations to a world premiere, of course he's going to take his wife. So I have to go the next day. But I'm happy with that. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's great. I mean,
Looking forward what you
if
tell
I
us
had a
about
cute,
Eternals.
beautiful lady, like devastatingly intelligent woman that way outshines John, if I had that, if she was my wife, I'd be like, yes, I would go to the premiere with you too. Like, John will never ask me to a world premiere, and nor should he.
Okay.
Ever. Have you seen Anne? Take her everywhere you go. You just make yourself look better. Well done, John. Love them both. But God damn it, so I have to wait till Tuesday to see the Eternals. Fuck. Anyway, but thank you, John, for inviting me to the press screening, like with Shang-Chi. So God bless John Campea, because you know what? He is still looking out for me, and I appreciate that. It's very nice of him. He doesn't have to, but he does. So anyway, so Stubble McShave says that, do you believe, Dieter, that comic book movies are like really good pizza?
Sometimes there can be even more, or sometimes there can be a pizza with not that many toppings on it, or probably the wrong toppings, like pineapple.
Wow, wait, hang on. Let's stop you right there, son. Do you believe that there are pizzas that have wrong toppings on them, and what would those wrong toppings be?
Yeah, like pineapple, perhaps. Not everyone's to everyone's taste to have pineapples on it, you know?
Well, what about your taste? Do you like Hawaiian pizza?
I would not say no to it, but there are probably other toppings I would prefer. But considering the comparison to movies, Stubble maybe right. But sometimes it's I would say we get even more than a pizza, considering Logan or something like this.
Dieter, if God himself came in front of you and said, Dieter Bastian, I will grant you your fondest pizza wish. What is your favorite pizza of all time? What would be that? What would be the toppings on your pizza, Dieter?
The toppings. Okay, I would say some bacon. Okay, some salami. Okay, cheese. Actually, really normal stuff. I wouldn't go far out, venture into the.
Would you? I mean, I'm a meat lover's pizza guy.
Yeah, that direction we can go, Rob.
So you and I are simpatico, and I have to tell you, there's a pizza place right down the street from where I live, the Pasadena Pizza Company,
Okay.
and their crust and their meat lovers pizza, my God,
That sounds lovely, Rob.
dude,
Sounds lovely.
it is lovely. It is lovely. You know who else is lovely? Terrier.
Oh, hey.
Tiberius Mork. Terrier, who obviously came 9 years ago, came down from Norway to London. We watched Skyfall together. Terrier, a great man. By the way, somebody who knows what good pizza is. Terrier says, Charles de Lazarica is a genius. And for his work, one of my heroes. Thanks for introducing me and letting me hang out with him. Well, what Terrier is referring to is Charlie, who was on the show earlier, also came to London to see Skyfall in 2012. And Terrier came down from Norway with his then paramour, Julie.
It was a nice posse.
It was good. It was good. And I have to say that Terrier is one of the great people I've met on the internet. He's a great guy. And when he came down, it was so great to meet him. And I'll tell you something. One of the great things about the internet, I mean, this was 9 years ago, but he was a fan of a film I'd made before that. But one of the great things about, like, Dieter, you and I wouldn't even know each other if I didn't be like, bruh, can you get me, like, rollerball and fork?
No.
You know, and now we're doing a show.
Yeah.
The same thing with Terry. Incredible. Great guy. So I'm happy you love hearing from him, and his work is amazing. I would recommend anything he's ever done as some of the great works of documentary filmmaking about
It's
making
no
movies.
APK kit, that's for sure.
Amazing. 200 Watt Studio says,
Yeah.
Rob, do you have the Blu-ray disc of The Verdict? And how is it? Of course I do. It's good. I mean, you know, The Verdict is, it's not HDR, but it looks terrific. I mean, it's a great representation of the film. I wouldn't say that, my God, they didn't add special effects to it, but it is beautiful. Please get it. I love that movie so much. It's so good. 200 Watt Studio goes on and says, Dieter,
Yeah.
where did you order the Korean version of Swimming Pool?
The Korean version I ordered, where mostly order my Asian movies from, Yes Asia. YesAsia.com. They've got a lot of Western movies in Korean versions. No? Yes Asia. YesAsia.com. 200 Watt Studio.
Which is good. And 200 Watt Studio also says candy corn pizza is great. Highly recommended, brah. Even I am a candy corn supporter. Do not put candy corn on your pizza. Come on, it melts, right?
Should
Deet and I, come on, dude. Deets, you and I are meat pizza dudes. We don't want candy corn on our pizza,
No.
do we?
Not really.
We don't. Batsy41
Yeah.
sends in a super chat and says, Hey, Rob, I would gladly take the Halloween pin set if you don't mind. By the way, it is true. Beautiful transfer. Have a great day, both of you. Well, Batsy41, I'll send you my Halloween pin set for $500. But the problem is you can't send it to my YouTube or PayPal account because after 10 years, they believed that I was pulling some shenanigans and canceled my. You can't even tip me. I was like, oh my God, I've had PayPal for 10 years, and they canceled me for some weird snafu that wasn't even my fault. I mean, I'm like,
Right.
my God, here's the world. I built 10 years up of good credit. I have a PayPal debit card. I get loans from PayPal. I've done all kinds of things for 10 years. And they fucking canceled me. Took my account away for some ridiculous little snafu. And I'm like, forget getting tips or anything, but I'm like, PayPal, I mean this sincerely. Fuck you. You know, the people that work for you have been there for less time than I've been your customer. And you deleted my PayPal account? What's amazing is, if I can just say, I mean, you open my wallet. I mean, one of the most active things in my wallet is my PayPal card. And they just canceled me. Dude, I'm like, fuck you, PayPal. Customer service. I even call them. I'm like, my God, I can't believe what you've done. PayPal is the fact that they will take a customer of 10 years and sideline them and get rid of their account in a day makes me believe that no one is safe. What about... I actually was calling him. I'm going, wait, what happened to my account? And I was actually talking to this poor woman, and I said, I've been a PayPal customer for 10 years. She was probably 12. when my PayPal account opens. Now she's 22 and has to deal with me, and I was very nice, always nice. But I'm like, guys, why would you possibly cancel my account? I have never done anything but be good to you for 10 years, and PayPal canceled my account, so no one can tip us, Dieter. No one. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. Perhaps you can sort it out next week.
I don't think so. I've tried. Done. Finished. Anyway, Jeremiah Bailey.
Yeah.
Jeremiah Bailey says, what did you enjoy most about DC fandom? I didn't care about Black Adam, but it's my most anticipated movie now. Did you watch DC fandom? Did you watch all the trailers?
No, I didn't watch the DC fandom.
But did you watch anything? Did you watch a Flash trailer or Black Adam?
I watched the Batman trailer. I watched the Black Adam teaser. And I
Yeah,
watched the
so,
Flash teaser,
okay,
but,
so you watched Black Adam. What did you think of the Black Adam teaser?
It's just a teaser. It didn't give anything away. Looked nice, nice special effects, but nothing really that would hype me for the movie more.
I do think that Dwayne Johnson's perfect casting for Black Adam, and like you said, I mean, I did like when he's using his powers and disintegrating a guy, but I'm like, I have to say, my question was, why are you doing that? Like,
Hopefully, the movie will give us an answer.
yeah, he's just an evil
It was
guy.
just a teaser. There's nothing.
Look, I will say
to
this:
discuss about.
I'm excited for Aquaman. I'm excited for Batman. I'm excited for the Flash. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Batman trailer for me was awesome.
200 Watt Studios says
Yeah.
Robservations is the Post-Geek Singularity PayPal money laundering. Yeah, because I take in so much money. You're right. That's why they've dinged me. They're like, we don't understand
He
what
isn't
you're doing.
even in the laundry set anymore. How will he do that?
Well, if you're like Tom Jr. Jackson, you will buy To Live and Die in L.A. and you'll watch how money is laundered. Just saying. Zachary P. says, was lucky enough to see Silence of the Lambs in a theater last night. Wow.
Ooh.
Why don't theaters show more classics? Is it not a good way for them to make money? Zachary, you are correct. I mean, there are a lot of companies that do theatrical screenings of classics. I agree with you. I think that every movie theater should be screening all of the classics, and they would, like, if you made Friday, if you're a 16-plex, like our AMC 16, which is a great theater, if every Friday night was Classics Night or Classics Day, and you started at noon and showed 5 classic films, I think it would be huge. But you know what? No one's ever done it. There's no analytics for it. But I think that people would go. What do you think, Dieter? If your local cinema that you go to all the time, if they were to show classic films from every, like if they did this week, Italian Giallo films, most people don't know what that is, but I think people would go and find out. What do you think?
He would probably say no, Rob. Yeah.
Dude, I'm trying to make a case here, and you have to say no?
Yeah.
Fucking
But
Europeans.
if you-
Goddamn Germans.
I buy the movies on Blu-ray. I will not go to see an old movie that I already bought on Blu-ray and have on Blu-ray in the theaters again.
Okay,
No.
this is the last episode of Let's
Yeah.
Get Physical Media. Thank you, viewers, for being our...
If people want to do that, but like you said, there are no metrics. If you have a multiplex, just try it out.
Wait, Dieter, you're now full screen. Please explain to me, are you telling me, as much as I love the Lawrence of Arabia 4K disc, if Lawrence of Arabia was playing on a big screen, and I have to say, the presentation, it can't be some low-rent, rinky-dink theater. You have to know that you're going to an AMC and singing Dolby Vision, all that shit. Are you telling me that if you live in a theater or you live in a town that's close by and you know you're going to get a great experience, are you telling me that you will not go see Hunting Ground in 4K on a big screen?
That's exactly what I tell you.
Okay, fuck
Yes.
you. Fuck you and the horse you rode in on. What the fuck, dude? Come on.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? For real?
Rob, do you really think people will venture out to see those movies again? I have them, Rob. I bought them on Blu-ray. I will not go to see them in theaters at the moment. Yeah.
Come on. Why do you do this?
Everybody can, but the multiplexes have to put them out. You know, Rob, I can find any classics at the moment at my multiplex.
Well, I know because they're not there. But if there were classics, like, are you telling me have you seen Lawrence of Arabia in a movie theater?
No, I haven't.
No, you haven't. Now, do you live close to a great theater that you love?
Yeah, my multiplex is nice. It's probably I don't know, considering the standards.
Yeah, but I mean, you love it when you go there. The sound, the picture's great, right?
It's the one theater I will go to. You know.
So, okay. That said,
and considering if you say they will play Lawrence on the biggest screen, Rob, the biggest screen is reserved for the newer stuff. You can't show that stuff on the biggest screen.
Okay, hang on. You have a theater you love. It's big, it's giant, you love it. Doesn't that make every movie better?
Yes, of course, but let's not kid
No,
ourselves.
wait, hang on, Dieter. What if they had one day a week classic cinema?
That's the problem too, Rob. 1 day a week. I work 3 shifts. You know, I work 3 shifts, and you give me, let's say, Wednesday, 8:00. If I had night shift, I can go.
Okay. Hang on. Let's assume, for argument's sake, that the theater is based on your work schedule. So the theater is being like, well, if Dieter can't come, we're not going to show it. So if it's Wednesday night, if you're home at 8:00, they're like, tonight we are showing Jennifer Lawrence in Passengers in 4K 70 millimeter. Like, okay, I know you might not. That's not what's going to drag you out. But pick your favorite film, whatever. Wouldn't that be cool? I mean, wouldn't you love to go to a theater and see your favorite movie on a gigantic screen for the first time?
If you give me a good price.
God damn it!
If
You are a
don't-
real
don't
fucking
charge
kraut.
me,
You're a kraut. You're a
if you
Jerry.
don't charge me a full price for an older movie, if you come down a little bit on the price,
Dude. But being in a venue, don't you want to see Lawrence of Arabia in your favorite cinema with enveloping sound and the picture, like, don't you want to?
it will not happen, Rob. I don't have to think about that. That's the reality.
Okay. That's fine. I understand.
We will, Rob, if they. put
Okay,
out a screen
Elizabeth is going to
I will get
Berlin.
back to you.
I'm coming to Germany next year. I am coming to Germany. I'm going to come to Saarbrücken. I'm going to
Probably if
find
you're
you.
in Berlin.
We're going to rent a car. We're going to go to theaters, and we are going to demand they show us our favorite. I'll call in advance. It'll be a whole thing. I'll get a publicist. It'll be a deal, man. You and I
Bring
are going
Tango Shalom with you. That's a deal.
No, I'll bring Free Enterprise with me.
Oh, with your cut, but with your cut.
Yeah, my new cut. It'll be the first time.
And a Q&A. After.
Oh, yeah. And you'll be on stage with me telling me why you hate the movie. It'll be great. It's fantastic.
Always that strong word. Hate.
Dude, I'm telling you. You and I, next May, I'll set it up. We're going to go to, like, Berlin and Munich and Saarbrücken. We'll go to theaters. We'll show Free Enterprise. We'll have a conversation. Because
We could check out that biggest IMAX theater that opened here.
Yeah. It's good. So I know you have to go to bed. Hang on.
Yeah, but there's still some super chats, Rob.
Terrier says,
Yeah.
Cinematheque in Oslo does this all the time. Showing now
Okay, great.
Holiday from 1938. next weekend. Absolute Beginners by Julian Temple. Going to catch that. By the way, a great opening. You know why? Because do you know what Europeans have been human beings longer than Americans have? They have. And they've gone through a lot of shit. But you know what Europeans appreciate more than Americans do? Art. Art. You walk through Paris, one of the most beautiful cities in the world. You might go down some weird corridor or whatever. You'll come to a 90-degree turn, and there's a beautiful cinema there playing Casablanca, like 24 hours a day. And you just walk in, and they'll hand you a glass of wine, and you won't know what they're saying, but it'll be some beautiful redhead French chick, and she'll be like, "Parlez-vous français?" No, I don't. She hands you, she's like, "Just read Proust." And I get that. And then you sit down and watch Casablanca with a bottle of, or a glass of wine. It's fantastic. 200 Watt Studio says,
Yeah.
Dieter, oh man, Dieter is fire to Rob's Hindenburg. Oh, the humanity.
Crash and burn. Unbelievable.
I think that, our dynamic, dude, I'm coming to Germany. I am coming in May. Count the time. We're coming. Elizabeth will be
Judgment Day is coming.
Elizabeth will be in Berlin.
Great.
I am coming to Germany. And you and we're going to go to like IMAX theaters and see classics.
If they're showing it, Rob. They're showing it.
No, I'm gonna make the Robservations World Tour. I'm going to call up theaters and be like, "Hey, Saarbrücken, Germany, I would love to do a thing for imagination connoisseurs from France. What are the other companies or countries that border you close within a half an hour? Not just France,
Belgium, Belgium,
Benelux. So
yeah.
Tango Shalom is going to play there too. So they'll. I mean, my God, if Renee Stoutzendijk or Monique Van de Ven, I know they're older now, but my God, if they could come and we could show The Fourth Man, Paul Verhoeven's The Fourth Man, let's show that, dude. You'll love that. You'll love it. It'll be great. Why don't we do it? Let's start planning it now. The Robservations World Tour, Dieter Bastian and Robert Meyer Burnett are coming to a theater near you. As long as it's in Germany.
Playing free enterprise.
No, we don't have to play that. I think we just play movies we like. And by the way, we should we'll crowdfund it and get Scott Atkins to come and show his favorite movie and speak. And you can interview him.
One coming out.
I think we should do it.
Okay.
All right, I know you have to go to bed.
No, so Super Chats, are you ready? Are you through with it?
No, we're done. Yeah, the last one was Dieter's fire to Rob's Hindenburg, the humanity.
Okay. Yes, Rob, but if you want to, you still can call George. Let the show go on.
So you want me to call George? He might not pick up.
I will say goodbye.
Oh, you're going to say, okay, I'll do it. All right.
Yeah, okay.
Dieter, another great show. Thank you for being here.
Because people always have questions to ask George. What will come out, what he knows about it. But
by the way, can I just tell you, George called me this week.
Oh, okay.
He called me this week and he said something. He was in a meeting talking about something that I had proposed, and he said they liked it and maybe it'll happen in 2023. All I can say.
Oh, dear. All right. Will take some time. Okay.
Dieter, let me just tell you, one of the great joys of my life in the last couple of years has been meeting you and doing these shows. I love doing them. Thank you for being here.
Me too.
Live long and prosper, sir. I will see you.
Prosper. Rob will take over with the rest of the show.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. Goodbye.
Guten Tag, whatever that means. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I will call George Feltenstein. George, if you're watching, I'm calling you right now. I'm going to call you up just to see, why not? George Feltenstein, who is the of all of the executives in Hollywood, George Feltenstein knows more about home video than anyone else. I mean, and that's not hyperbole. That's actually true. That's truthful. So, what I have to do is look him up. I mean, I have to go and he might not answer. I mean, he might be talking to his dad. You know, he's become people love him. I don't know. I'm calling him right now. George, I'm going to call you. I don't even know what I'm going to say. Who knows? You can hear the phone ringing. He might not answer. I wouldn't answer. Like, what? Like, why would, you know? He's probably in, like, Malibu having a nice lunch somewhere. What can I say? George, I understand. You're having...
Please leave a message.
George, it's Rob Burnett. I'm calling you live on our show. People asked me to call you. I didn't even have a question, but I'm calling you. I hope you talk to your dad. I hope you're having a great Sunday. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you are about physical media, my God, George Feltenstein is doing the Lord's work. Just know that. George, they know. I'm just happy I have your phone number in my phone. Have a great Sunday, sir. So, there you go. Because why would George be home? He doesn't have to be home. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's get Physical Media episode number 45. My God, I'm going to bring it to an end. For those of you, wait, hang on. Nope, I've done all the super chats. I want to thank all of you for generously, can't even speak. Thank you for supporting the channel via super chats. No, I can't take tips because, my God, PayPal has obliterated 10 years of good service. Tomorrow, maybe I'll try again. But thank you for supporting the channel via tips and super chats. And thank you to my moderators. Brian Hepburn is here. Lord Toth is here. Thank you for being here. I'm looking at everyone else. Brian Hepburn, Lord Toth, thank you. Maybe Louise X Sparrow is here. I don't know. I value my blue wrenches. Thank you so much. I thank all of you who support the channel via tips and super chats. It's very much appreciated. Thank you so much. And as always, buy more physical media. And on that note, I would say to all of you, you know, this collectible pin set, I don't know why I have it, but it's kind of cool to have it. I mean, even the box, if you like it, the box is cool. Anyway, on that note, thank you so much for being here. And if you live in a town that is showing a movie that I made, Tango Shalom, it's only in 2 towns now, but on VOD and DVD on October 29th. As always, thank you so much for your support. Let's get physical media. My God, yes! Let's just keep getting physical media because it's going away.